Where's Latrell?
On the dance floor.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right. What's
What's
you guys
up?
are
We live?
You guys are finished. What's going on?
We live?
Yeah, we're live. We had a
What's
little
up?
trouble, guys. There, we kept getting an error from over here on StreamYard. We apologize. Let's say what's up to some people. April, what's going on? Dominic Calandri, you know what? Rayful, Salvatore Acetura, Chris Capello, what's going on, buddy? Mickey Smith, Mike Yeaney, Matt, my man, JoJo Christmas, Dayon Zivan, Rock Solid, he's in the house. Proletarian Assassin is in the house too. Darnell Trump is back. What's going on, buddy? We missed you. I think we saw your brother in here the other night. What's up, Frank?
No, nothing. We had a pretty good show. I was gonna go bowling tonight, but what's up, Jeff Howlett? And what's going on, brother?
Tobias Funk, Jeff Howlett, Zach Wagon.
Cartagena. Yeah. Not much. Just decided that we got a lot of feedback from yesterday's show. And a little bit too much, actually. Hey, what's up, Al Torres? There's my brother right there. What's going on? So we're back. We're back. We're gonna make it happen.
Lewis Webb, what's going on, buddy? Yeah. So that video is good, man. I really enjoyed that one. We figured we'd come on and talk about it fresh. Frank got some calls about a couple of things. Maybe we'll talk about that. If anyone missed it yesterday, we put out Ridgewood Boys. This is 52 Topics with Frank Fiordilino. Episode 11. Try to do something different with the thumbnails. I'm going to try to change some of the art for the show, see what happens. If you guys like that thumbnail, let me know. Tell me you like it. But other than that, it was a good conversation, Frank, right?
Yeah, it was good. It was brought back a lot of memories. I forgot a lot of things, too. A lot of people I forgot to mention that were part of that little part of me that was growing up. There was parks that were around us that I didn't mention, like 93 Park, Grover Cleveland Park, Farmers Oval, Madison. They had their own little cliques, and eventually we became the ones most talked about as we got older and started doing, like I told you, crazy stuff. But this is before all that, and gradually we became the assholes of the neighborhood. But it was a fun time for sure.
Thank you, Al. Roro in the house. What's going on, Roro?
Hey, what's up, Roro? What's going on, baby? How you doing?
So what are you doing? What were you doing tonight? You were hanging out with Roy Munson, or what was going on at the bowling alley?
Yeah, right. No, I was gonna go, but then I said, that's another thing I'm very horrible at. You always call me on that bowling. I have too much of a hook, so I'm not that good at it. I'm a lefty, but so I'm not missing nothing. Maybe the beer, but that's about it. But yeah, so we have a lot. If people have questions about yesterday's show, please ask. I'm trying to think of Chris Meatballs over. He said that when what happened when we weren't throwing snowballs.
Oh yeah. Let me get to some of the comments. We'll get to some of the comments from yesterday's show. I think there was a couple of interesting comments and a couple of there might have been a couple of questions, so we'll get to that. Then I'm going to read some of these. Here we go. D'Augusta. Frank, are you a part of the bowling league?
Yeah, actually I am.
His extracurricular activities.
Yeah.
So let's see. Yeah, that was a comment that I saw. I didn't completely understand it, but Chris 2776. What's up, Chris? If you're listening, this one time in September, we wanted to have a snowball fight, but there was no snow, so we ended up getting into a meatball fight, and we started to throw meatballs at each other. That's a hell of a lot of meatballs, huh?
I think it's racist, but it's okay. It's funny.
Cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Two fucking meatballs. No, it's all good. It's all good. What's up, Muggsy? What's up, my man? Anthony Tyrese, 40 bowl. Seeing some Jeff goes, throwing eggs. Yeah, we threw eggs. That's what we did. We threw eggs on Halloween. It was
we did that shit. We had the fucking kids that used to put Nair on the eggs. Remember that shit?
Yeah, no, we never did that. But we would buy enough eggs to feed Ethiopia. But instead, we decided to throw them on Fresh Pond Road. And everybody got hit. Everybody. And we had one kid, Buffalo, Joe Nicholas. he could throw a hard ball in the 8th grade about a good 75, 80. So picture
Okay.
an egg coming at your head.
Yeah. Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
that's not bad.
Yeah, we had kids in my neighborhood. They would put Nair on the eggs, and then you throw it at someone's head. Maybe their fucking hair falls out or whatever.
Okay,
Messed
so
up shit.
we might have that special guest today.
We might have a special guest. So yesterday, one of the funniest things that came up randomly was I guess it wasn't so random, but you brought up a guy by the name of Rob Iavani, and I remember he was in the news some years back because he was on the show The Biggest Loser. So there he is right there. Here you see the article, fat fighter gangster known as Big Head was spotted on The Biggest Loser by Gambino bosses while he was supposed to be lying low. Is that an exaggeration, Frank? Is he like that serious where, Rob, you better lie low, Rob. Things are getting dangerous out here. Is it?
No. He was fun, happy go lucky. Just I'm telling you, he had more debt in high school than anybody else as a fun. Just a degenerate gambler. Then started gambling.
Yeah.
Started making money. He sold everything. Trees, Christmas trees was his thing. He had a couple of spots, cigarettes. He lent in money if he knew somebody'd pay him back, because obviously he wouldn't lend it to me or any of my friends.
Let's check out the article. I'll read the article. So this was from the Daily Mail when this came out. As you see the article, that fat fighter gangster known as Big Head spotted on Biggest Loser. And they're so mean, these fucking an obese New Yorker named in court as a Gambino gangster appeared on a TV show, The Biggest Loser, hoping to shed some weight, it emerged today. 2 witnesses at the racketeering and murder trial of Bartolomeo Bobby Bernays, Bobby Glasses, claimed Robert Iavani, named Big Head, was a member of Bobby Glasses' mob.
So fucking wrong.
In 2006, he featured in a special edition of a reality TV show when he teamed up with relatives who owned an Italian restaurant in the Bronx. And then it goes on to say that Joe Gambino told the court of his criminal dealings and that Iavani was included in illegal sports betting and loan sharking as a part of Bobby Glass's crew. And here's a bunch of other. This guy looks like Homer Simpson. Here's a bunch of other photos of him. I guess he's got a family though. That's good. Good. Bronx restaurant. But yeah, so that was an interesting. I'm glad that guy came up because I found that to be pretty funny.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, they made fun of my head too, so it's so fucking no. That's just a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he was good, dude, man. One time he fucking gave some guy he bounced a check on him because he needed some time to. I mean, he pay people back. Don't get me wrong, but the guy went around it the wrong way. I'll get into that story one day. Actually, me and a couple of other guys had to go take care of it. Howie was one of them. But that was a while back. I laugh every time I see those pictures because it brings me back to him. He was a good guy, but also, he's such a nice guy. He had people sometimes try to get over on him too. When he wasn't getting over, they were getting over on him, and that was we talk about the Ralphie story with that Billy Finnegan kid.
Yeah.
And the Mike Pruce kid, and hopefully they could come on and we could talk. The Billy Finnegan kid wants to tell his side of the story.
That would be great.
We'll drop a link. You could tell your side of the story. But when you, Ralph, and Mike Pruce, a kid I went to high school with, they decided to steal Big Head. I'm calling Big Head. Robert Iavani's fucking fireworks. So if you're out there.
This guy is a pool player, you said?
Yes, he was a pool player. And I remember him from the pool hall. He always used to get himself in trouble. He's doing good in life. So if you're out there, bro, come to the chat. We'll put down the link and you could tell your side of the story. This might be him. I just got text.
Trying to see. Let me try to get something on him. I guess he was on True TV as well. All right. Well, that's cool. We'll talk to him about that if he's free.
He says he'll come on at 8.
8 o'clock. Okay, 8 o'clock. Billy Finnegan.
So, all right.
Come on.
I know. See, Billy. Come on. You could tell your story. I thought, yeah, definitely.
Proletarian assassin. He did a short time in an Eastern European jail. Next door was an abandoned bowling alley that we can use on the weekends. Best time I ever did. That's pretty cool, man. Aside from being locked up, that's pretty cool. Gaslight Studios. 2 things. 1, good job. Birds, Eagles, and 2nd, thoughts on the Philly mob, Joey Merlino. I don't know. I know.
Me?
I know that
No, none.
I know that Jeff was on Merlino's show, Nadu,
Oh, really?
which I
Hey,
didn't.
Scott, what's up?
I guess
Oh, yeah,
nobody thought
I
that was
see something
gonna.
like that.
I guess no one thought that was gonna happen. But interestingly enough, I was looking on Merlino's Instagram, and there was a comment under the video where it was promoting the show that Jeff was in, and it said something about Jeff is in the Rat Squad or whatever the fuck. And then
Right,
Joey Merlino was like, "Who the hell did he put in jail?" Which was I
right.
found surprising that Joey Molina would even say that, because according to that, as far as what I thought, according to their belief system, you shouldn't even associate with anybody that actively associates with informants. So I was surprised that he said that. But
Yeah,
I guess, I'm sure everybody that blows his pole will follow suit and do whatever he does. Cindy Birch, what's going on, Cindy? I don't know. You guys really got the snow in New York City. We did a little bit a few days ago. Nothing much. Chris
I,
Archilla, what's going on? What's up with our boy Joe Monte? He's losing his mind lately.
what's up, Chris? What's up, Lefty? Lefty, what's going on, bud?
Lefty, Anthony Tavernese.
I think that a lot of these guys are full of shit, and I don't even want to go into why. They're always like, I ain't gonna talk to that one, I ain't gonna do nothing with this one, then this guy's a piece of shit, and that one's a piece of shit. And then the next thing they're blowing each other on who's the he's the
Right,
best.
right,
We
right.
loved each other for a long time. We had our problem. Bro, that's the way I still talk to the same people I talked to when I got on here. It's something wrong.
Yeah, I just don't like when people don't have minds of their own, and then they just go with the wind, wherever the wind blows. They just go this way, they go that way, they go this way. But,
It's like I think they're doing it for the grift now. Even the content
it's the
creators,
grift, of course. It's the fucking
even
grift.
the content creators. At first, I used to think it was those stupid little shows, where they go after each other and all that. But I think it's
Yeah, that's a separate thing almost, I guess.
yeah. I get that, the Jerry Springer type shows. But
Yeah.
But I will talk to rats, but I won't talk to rats. Homegirl made me see the light. I didn't know it was that way. Yeah, man, you're nothing. You're
Yeah.
trash.
Just do whatever you want to do. You don't need to rationalize whatever your fucking decision is. Just do what makes you happy. Skippy, what's going on, Skippy?
Hey,
Frank.
What's
Either of you see
what's up,
you just see the 1993 movie Amongst Friends? I don't
good
believe I have.
film. Yes, it's an independent film and it doesn't get enough credit. So I liked it.
What's that about?
A bunch of kids, they grew up together, like three of them, and then they all take different paths. It's kind of like weird. It's kind of like a lot. I could relate to it growing up, to like what was going on with us.
Frank, in the Canadian federal prison system, on Prisoners' Justice Day, all the inmates fast for 24 hours to honor all the inmates that lost their lives. Do you have that in the U.S. system?
Not to my knowledge. No.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I can't see everyone getting on board.
That's actually respectful for sure.
Yeah. I respect Merlino for cutting Francis down to size, but I truly admire Louis Ferrandi for turning his life around and becoming a prolific writer and upstanding member of society. Yeah.
I didn't know. But I hear a lot of good stuff. Oh, that's Chris Capello. Chris, thank you for everything.
Chris
Supporting
Capello.
of the show. And I'm a fan of Chris myself. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you a lot. I appreciate everybody. Chris is a believer of the show. And thank you.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, so I know you mentioned yesterday that I don't know. I feel like you thought you left some stuff out in the conversation we had about Ridgewood.
No, just certain people that I think that we were at the, that later on would come. I think maybe people were still thinking or were expecting me to mention guys that were fully at one point just became the Giannini crowd. I was just talking about growing up at that time and how things formatted and how things got going the way they did.
Right.
When we weren't battling no more, we were battling other people. When that stopped, and we were looking for other ways to vent out, and eventually it got into a more complicated situation.
Right. Well, it's good though. It's good because it's all reference points to what's going to come in the future anyway, which is
Right, the
good.
Fresh Pond Diner was great. I think we were undefeated then. You came in, it was easy for you to eat a ketchup bottle at the Fresh Pond Diner, wasn't that? And then it's funny though. After years, I got older and they weren't around no more. I remember the younger guys were getting the same type of situations,
Right.
and I was like, wow, it's just the fuck. And the Fresh Pond Diner ain't there no more. But it was like I don't know, a cycle, and the last of that cycle, I believe. I don't know if anything's going on no more, and I hope not. You guys are listening out there, thinking that one day you got like to reciprocate what we had going. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't recommend it. But Anthony Aiello and then his friends started kind of doing the same thing, and that's what happened there. And look at what happened to that kid. So.
Hey, let me ask you. Speaking of Aiello, I think somebody actually did make a comment in
Right.
reference to Sakali and Vinny Gorge, just like, what do you mean by recruiting them or whatever? And obviously, you mean that he's from Ridgewood. He ended up with these Bronx guys, but how exactly did that? Because I don't listen to Sakali that much. Sometimes, if he's telling history, maybe, but he's usually fighting with somebody. So, do you know like the story of them going into Ridgewood, how he ended up with those guys?
Yeah, I don't want to get into it too much now, but
Okay.
what happens is Anthony catches a 5-year fucking bid on after Giannini case. So there's a 96 case, there's a 98 case. So he starts being Anthony Tabita's guy. Anthony Aiello does, which is back to like, when your father's gone, you got no guidance. So what do? Aiello was always a banana guy, but he's hanging out with a guy that's around whose uncle is Lenny Di Maria and Anthony Tabita. So he starts having him do things, breaking places down, going, doing things that for him. So eventually having him made in the Gambino family. But he goes away for 5 years. Anthony flips. And Anthony goes in there, and he's in jail now at this point, and he meets, I don't know if he knew at the time or he gets close with Endicado.
Bruno,
so he gets close with him. Joe Messino goes away, and they come back to the neighbor, and they do a recruiting process. And that's a lot of guys that fell under the radar from the Giannini case, and they ended up getting good people. They ain't like they weren't capable or able. Tough kids too, but it was kind of like a tide that was moving. You understand?
Yeah.
He's back with the Bananos at that point.
Okay. Yeah, and I understand. We're gonna do an Aiello episode. So yeah, we'll save some of that. Gaslight Studios rebooted. Black Mass, thoughts as a movie. Did you like the Black Mass movie, Frank? The Bulger movie?
Yeah, I did. And not in the beginning. I seen it and I was like, what the fuck? I mean, the Johnny Depp thing when but then I got to understand that's how Whitey Bulger acted, Yeah. And so I didn't know. I thought it was just like, what the fuck? Why doesn't he talk? Why doesn't he do this?
Right.
I was kind of caught. But then when I seen the whole thing, understood the character he was trying to portray, then I got to appreciate the movie for sure. Rob G in the house. Hey, Fish, what's up, brother?
Yeah, I saw it in the movies, and I didn't think much of it. But then I watched it again at home, and I actually liked it more after I watched it. And I know that not everything in it is maybe real to life or whatever, but as a movie, I don't know what's true, what's not. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it grew on me. Thank you,
Vinny Boom Bots. He says, in memory of Pastor Bradley. Oh my God, he put him in.
You're out there, Pastor. Come back on.
Boom Bots. Yeah, well, that's another clip we got to clip up the channel. Thank you, Vinny Boom Bots.
Vinny Boom Bots. In memory of Stacy the Monkey, for sure. Stacy's people like the idea that we mentioned Stacy now and then. Stacy was doing cocaine. Stacy, Stacy was not your regular chimp.
Robert Bonfie. Yo, guys, loving the quality and quantity of what you guys got going on with the show. Thank you, Robert. That means a lot, buddy.
Thank you, for sure.
Thank you.
For sure.
Crispina wants to know if you know Anthony Reggiano Jr.
No, but I had friends that knew him. I knew a kid that hung out around him, and they were a pretty wild group. This what was his name? Chris Phone Books. He used to tear phone books with his hands. Real tough guy. Got into a little bit of a. Got it. I believe he got it together last I heard of him, but he got into a little bit of a rut in his life, and he's pretty good. I think he's like born again. Thank God for that, because you want to
Yeah.
talk about a tough fucking guy with his hands. I mean, another friend of mine got into it with him and ended up shooting him in the leg. Howie.
Uh-oh. What it do with Big Lou? Thank you. Salute, Lou. Thank
Big
you.
Lou, thank you, man. Thank
Appreciate
you, man.
you.
Keeping this going. Thank
Drunk
you.
Capella, I got to call you back. I didn't forget about you, buddy. What's going on?
How many people we got today? Probably like what, 40?
121 people.
We'll take them. We'll take them.
We'll take it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Any questions? Let us know.
Godfather Cal. Yeah, I don't know. Put the notifications on. I mean, we announced this hours ago, so if your notifications are on, you should have got one. Sometimes I think maybe unclick the bell for notifications and then click it back, almost like a reset here to do that. All due respect, I'm from the Bronx. Cali's a piece of shit. Take it from me. Yeah, that's fine. I don't even know the guy. That's fine, Bobby Fingers.
I ain't fucking with Bobby. I ain't fucking with Watts.
Yeah. Rob Jean, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah. If Bobby Fingers says so, I'm going with it. What was I gonna say? Fuck. Oh, so you got that package I sent you? The glasses and the shirts.
I did get it.
Yeah. So everybody,
the night before yesterday. I got it Tuesday night.
We're gonna have another giveaway courtesy of same people like that, or maybe somebody else. Hold on, I gotta look at that. Beck Brooklyn, my favorite Albanian on the fucking chat today.
Look at this name. Broke woke joke. What are you, the new normal? Is this the fucking new normal over here? Seen the movie last night, Once Upon a Time in Queens. It was just, oh, look at this. We're already getting movie recommendations out there. Thank you for the $5.
Was it any? I liked it. I actually liked the Once Upon a Time in Queens.
Yeah, I didn't see it. We just spoke about it, though.
Look, I might be biased. I knew people that I haven't seen in years. I seen an ex-buddy of mine's dad, actually a couple of people's dads. So it was kind of emotional for me, but the storyline was good. I mean, I seen a lot fucking that one where they do that series on in Brooklyn. What's that called right there with the Mayo guy?
The male guy?
The Mayo, the guy who calls himself the Mayo.
Oh, the Gravesend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is so much better. And it's pretty good.
Roro.
Go ahead.
Roro says, in Stacy's defense, back in the day, we were told cocaine was not addictive. Plus, I don't think she had free will. Yeah, justice for Stacy. That's right. That's the new movement.
Stacy was a male, but I know exactly what you're saying, bro.
Well, they had the Stacy. What was that basketball? Stacy Augman. Remember him?
Yeah. This is his. Next. We don't want to turn this into fucking something it's not.
Stacy Keach, the great actor.
Stacy Keach. There you go. Yeah. I think it's an English. I think Stacy's an English name.
88 Napolitano. Love your show, guys. Glad you're doing all right, Frank. God bless from Youngstown, Ohio.
Thank you. Youngstown, Ohio. That was a very, very tough place. It probably still is in a different kind of way, but always Youngstown. That's where all the bombs were going off.
Crispina wants to know if you ever had any nicknames.
Yeah. Fat head, football head. I don't know, fucking anything. They not of course behind my back, you know. I didn't care. I don't care. Something about me is I like to fuck around, and yeah, I could take it and I could give it. Octopus head. I don't know about that one. I never got that one before.
Yes, but everybody, let me know if you guys see Frank Free.
Who was high on coke when he shut the bridge down? The monkey.
Oh, the monkey was high, you think, when it jumped out of the car?
No, he just went out of it. He was fucking people. He was fucking with people. Fat Frank, thanks. That's
Bronxy South. Hey, Bo. Mod Haven in the house. What's going on, Bo? Howie Winter was the real boss of the Winter Hunt. You guys are still talking about Howie Winter.
Rob Jean, yeah, and you know they are. And when you and tell that other fucker, fuck him too.
We got the Bo movement going on, buddy. We are the. Everybody's saying Bo now.
No. She's talking about when the monkey closed the bridge.
No, I know.
Shout out to Mo. What's up, Mo?
David Price, what's going on? David Lopez, what's going on? All the Davids are coming in. A coked up monkey. Yeah, those chimps, man, they rip people's faces off. I mean, there's that famous case with the lady who had the chimp. Remember that freaking ripped her face off?
Yeah. That one knew how to drive and liked baseball.
Yeah.
He would watch baseball for night. I think they gave him some kind of shit, Xanax or something.
You can answer this, right? Chris Spina says, was Stacy the chimp the one with the Neil Della Croce in the photo? Yes.
We got somebody in the chat. I'll tell you that's 100%.
Yep. Rob Jean could testify to that. Ladies and gentlemen, I think around 8 o'clock, we do have a guest coming in. That's what I've been told by my partner over here.
If you're out there, Billy, just come on the chat. We'll drop the link for you. And you could tell that famous story about you guys robbing Iovanni's fucking fireworks stash and what happened after.
Scott H says Travis the chimp ripped the lady's face and hands off. That's tough. Come on, people. Yeah. Hit the like button, like Lou said, please. What's up, Maureen?
Cotolo? No, Cotolo ain't coming up here.
Cotolo. Yeah, hopefully soon, but that's not the guest tonight.
Yeah. And shout out to Billy.
Yeah.
No, it got me confused when he was saying that.
So this is a guy, hopefully coming on at 8 o'clock, that can talk about a little more about Rob Iovanni in a certain situation. And it involves Shula as well?
Yeah, because they got together. Now, remember, I wasn't there, but, knowing Ralph and this little cool about it's a good story. If you like that kind of stuff.
Cool. We're the popcorn. I don't know, Bo.
Yeah, Billy used to hang out at the pool hall. He actually, and I was told, I don't know how true, Billy, if you're listening, he had a show where he would go and challenge people and play pool in these different pool halls. I think it was on Vice or something.
Yeah, I saw it. It was, I think it was on True TV.
Oh, True TV. Okay.
Something called Hustlers or something. I think it was Hustlers. Finnegan on True TV's The Hustlers.
Which is funny because me and my friends used to hang out in a pool hall. That's where I met Billy back in the day. And that was on Myrtle Avenue. I forgot the name of the pool hall. It used to be the Victorian house where people used to get married back in the day. I think my sister got married there in the early 70s. And then it became a pool hall.
Yeah.
And that's where we used to hang out.
Joe Road, Odyssey.
Any Ridgewood people out there? I don't know. Middle Village. We're talking about the neighborhoods, and a lot of different people hung out in a lot of neighborhoods. Like at that time in our life, I'm pretty sure Vito was like a senior at Christ the King, and he hung out in Maspeth or Middle Village, one or the other. And there was a pizza shop on Maspeth called Caruana's. I know. There he goes, Caruana Pizza. And it was a bunch of guys that used to hang out. They was there hang out and everything, and they got themselves into a lot of bullshit. Hey, Angelo Gion Grande, how you doing, man?
And C says Elite Pool Hall.
Yes, Elite Pool Hall. That was it. I used to live in that fucking place. How I forgot, I don't know. And
we had Millennium Pool Hall. Anybody remember Millennium on Francis Lewis Boulevard? Millennium? Anybody?
No,
Millennium?
No.
Drum Capella is going to be in Ridgewood tomorrow. Is that right?
Really? Where? No, forget about it. Don't tell nobody. Something about a Zip or Gaslight Studios over there.
Do you know which Zip whose daughter Howard Greenberg, Narco Wars married?
Oh, yeah. No, I don't even know who he was. He was the guy with the fucked up hair. He goes, that word made him sick to his stomach.
John
He had a flip
Sidlisky,
phone.
Howard Beach.
Howard Beach, all right. Howard Beach in the house.
Bronxy South says the Bronx have the least cooperators of New York. Could be.
Oh, maybe I should go to the Bronx now in my next life and commit crimes.
Yeah.
So, Bronx. But how many
as
how big was
kids?
the Bronx when it came to like? There was a lot of gangsters in the Bronx. I get it, but compared to Brooklyn and Queens.
Yeah. Fish said we'd hung out in Brooklyn. We go to Manhattan at 12. Yeah, I probably started sneaking away to Manhattan probably at like 14. That was probably when I started. Yeah.
NC says I played there with you at Elite. I'm imagined a couple of times. Yeah, could be. I mean, I used to like be there a lot.
What about Q Bar? Q Bar, is that the one on Bell and Northern? I don't know if I've ever even walked in that place, Barzalette. I used to be called Slate, I think, or Slade or some shit before that. Caruana had sesame seed pizza, is that right? Yep.
I've been a while. There was Rosie's nearby too. You know, the ones with the cheese underneath and the sauce on top. That kind of that's one of my favorite pizza shops.
Yeah, me too.
Yep. But
Roses, you said?
Roses, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So what else? We're being sidetracked because we're waiting for somebody.
Yeah, we're kind of waiting for someone, so we'll just fuck around for a little bit. Gaslight Studios, ever watched The Deuce? No, I have not watched it. That's the one about the 42nd Street, right? Yeah. No, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a pretty good show. Frank, did you ever associate with any Greeks in Queens? Not really. Most Greeks stuck to themselves, and I don't know. It was an Astoria thing. And I think I was talking to you before. Astoria and Ridgewood are 2 worlds apart.
Yeah, story, a lot of Greeks. Yep. But now it's like fucking hip. A lot of hipsters moving in. What else we got? Ever hear of the Pool Hustlers, New York Blackie or Water Dog? Frank, I haven't. I don't know.
No. The best pool player in my neighborhood, I got to meet, believe it or not, in my 20s, or maybe close to my 30s, before I got locked up. My early 30s was my friend's dad, Jamie and Pete's dad, Guardino.
Okay.
He was a hustler, and he'd tell me that back in the days, he don't play no more. He had like 7 kids, and he said it's hard to hustle. He goes, because once people know how good you are, people stop playing you. So you have people looking for it. But I mean, did I buy my first washing machine for my wife? Did I buy my TV? Did I do that? He goes, yeah. So everybody knew him. Everybody knew the old guy. Really good guy, Korean vet. And I said, well, you're going to shoot for me a little bit? And he did now and then. But he had to be a little bit out there because he didn't like to shoot a lot. And he was really good. I mean, he was calling. I go, how do you do that? He goes, I dream of this at night. He goes, when I go home, I dream of 2, 3, 4 shots. And I'm always 4 or 5 shots ahead of you from the break. And he goes, so that's pool in a nutshell. See, I didn't get out of the 2, 3 shot zone because my mind didn't work. I'm not wired that way, but this guy was really, you could tell he was an artist. Pool is art. It really is.
For sure. Yeah. I'm not great at it. I mean, after like 2 or 3 games, you get better at it, but I was never that great. Matty the Horse is in the Deuce. He runs 42nd Street in it for the West Side. That makes sense. Really, maybe I should watch it. There's a lot of players in Times Square at that time. A lot of people keep, they only name like Matty the Horse, but there's so many people. And if I'm not mistaken, Matty the Horse was very much into the restaurant and sanitation in that area of Midtown Manhattan. That's not to say he wasn't involved in strip clubs or whatever, but And I even think that he had like some kind of fucking lending service going on, like illegal. Like, oh, you need to open a business? Okay, I'm gonna help you out with that.
Yeah,
I forgot the name of it. And they had the sanitation company there too. But there was a lot of players. Bananos. I mean, you guys had Zaffarano, and then there's a bunch of people. Obviously, DiBernardo and a bunch of fucking.
Illegal loans is the way to go. My uncle used to talk about that all the time. He had one of his kids. He said he's going to go to college. I don't know whatever happened with that. He goes, you know, you get into the legal. Like, I guess I don't know what kind he was talking about. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but like car loans or all that other kind of shit. What do they call it?
Predatory loans.
Predatory loans.
Predatory loans.
Yeah. So
Mike the Printer. Roy DeMeo was a porn. Yes, he was. He was very deep into the porn industry, very invested.
Was he really?
Oh, yeah. Very invested in also like shops. Like, well, he was one of the financial backers of Show World, the Show World Center in Times Square.
So was DB apparently, right?
Robert DiBernardo was, yeah, along with Robert DiBernardo. And Richard Basciano was actually the guy that owned it, who was pretty shady. I think that Richard Basciano was a government asset, but I'll hope to prove that one day.
You know what's funny? Did DB's kids ever want justice for their dad from Sammy?
Of course, they were on the news. Remember, they were all sitting in there.
Too? And they this guy who made money in the porn industry. Why don't they just go away? You know what I mean? That's what makes me freaking go crazy at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's still their father. Yeah, but pretty shitty one at that.
Yeah. Yeah, Roy was heavily invested in that. And then he had a harem, a spa out in Brick, New Jersey as well that he was running.
Right.
And also films and everything else. Yeah. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna make a phone call. You mute me for a second.
I'll hold the audience. The show has some good characters, and some of the pimps are funny. And James Franco, yeah, I remember seeing that James Franco was in it. It shows how the porn industry basically started. Funny story about I'll tell you guys about the Show World. There's a guy that runs the Show World Center website, and I hit him up and I was asking him some stuff because I wanted to talk to him, and I was asking him a couple of things, whatever.
You said that, right?
And he basically didn't like the fact that I was referring to his former boss, Robert Basciano, as a mob associate.
I'm on the phone right now, but I'm on mute.
And he wasn't aware of Roy DeMeo and all these FBI files and everything. I sent him all this stuff, and let's just say he wasn't.
He wasn't my live. I have a live going on right now.
But that's okay. We don't know.
It says it live. The red thing on.
Like what people say, you know. All right. It's funny you mentioned Plato's Retreat, because where Roy had that place that turned into the Plato's Retreat in Brick, New Jersey. They had one over there.
I'm good.
Is he going to come in?
Yeah, he's good. That's what I heard. Yeah, I'm talking with a person who's the middleman, kind of.
Right, you know right. Okay. Chris Archel, Louis Melito's daughter was pretty cute in the one documentary about Sammy taking their farm. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, what was that? That was the TV program. They're all like sitting in around and stuff, and all the daughters and family are there. I think DB's family's there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know, man. As far as and people are probably going to quote me on this. As far as I'm concerned, the only one that has like the land, like the stand on when it comes to that is Kaiser's family. You know.
Yeah.
And not West Babylon. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again?
Yeah, the Kaiser family, and not her some ex-gangster boss's daughter. You know what I mean?
Yes. Corruption. Frank, did you ever go to Jaguars 3 in Brooklyn? I think Vinny Green had it.
No. The only place I've been to Brooklyn was probably. They weren't many, but when I went out there, I just didn't like it. I didn't feel comfortable there. I like the people, unless I knew the people I was there with. It could get really, really awkward. With Pastels.
Pastels, okay.
Yeah.
Frank, do you know of any Bananas that may have had some dealings in Philadelphia? I know the Gambinos are around a little bit working with Philly guys.
No, I did not. Nope.
Yeah. I saw that documentary with Louis' daughter. Yeah. Roy's uncle was a politician. Close. Close. One of his uncles was a chief medical examiner, and one of them was a prosecutor, or at least an assistant attorney at one point.
Who's that?
Huh?
Drunk Josie?
Drunk Josie says, "Happy Sunday." That's funny. That's funny. Hey, Brett. Yes, you did. You did. He said he has a matchbook from Pastell's Drum Capella. He said he uses one match a year. He's had it for about 38 years.
Maybe fucking okay. Oh yeah.
I'm kidding, Drum Capella. No, but he has it. He has it though. Frank, how many times people say the old neighborhoods felt more safe when the mob was stronger back in the day? Would you say that's a failure of society or a failure of government?
I don't know. It was just a different time. Probably. I don't know. It was a different kind of. You had these creepos around. You weren't going to be anybody that was on the registry moving to your neighborhood. And even if there was a little bit of doubt, that was they were kicked out right away. Anybody, even with suspicion of being a dirtbag, you were getting taken care of. Now I don't know what kind of failure of government is that. What do you think? Or neither?
I don't know, because to be honest with you, I never experienced the neighborhood. I mean, where I grew up and where I lived, yeah, they live here. They still do. But it's not where you feel the presence, where in some of those neighborhoods like Bensonhurst or whatever, like you felt the presence. Like you had social clubs, like people saw these guys, like they were around. I didn't grow up around that. So I really don't know. All I could say is that when people say things, and this is just a matter of fact, I think people say the old neighborhoods, whatever. I guess they're talking about certain neighborhoods, because in some neighborhoods in New York City, it doesn't matter what decade it is, it fucking blows regardless, whether,
Right.
whether it doesn't matter what's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe certain neighborhoods that had mafia presence, I guess, maybe, but I wouldn't know. I got to be honest with you. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Yeah. But even so, like when you were coming up, would you have considered your neighborhood in that mold? Like a
In what aspect?
like did everybody know? Like, was it so obvious that there was social clubs all over and there was
Oh yeah,
mafia?
of
All
course
right,
there.
yeah. So you would know then. Then you would know better.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course there was. What they say? What is it? Did I know Anthony Asiel? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So I mean, I
And
don't know.
another one said,
Safe for who? For the women and children, maybe? Because anybody can get cracked.
yeah, I think so. I definitely think so. When somebody made a move on somebody's sister, and
Right.
it was taken care of by the neighborhood. There was a lot pros and cons though. Like
Yeah.
anybody who had an alternative lifestyle was abused. They had to move to the village because they couldn't live in Brooklyn and Queens. That was the bad part. There was no there was pros and cons in a lot of ways.
Right. Chris Archula, Gotti's Boys. That's a good book. Yeah, that's it's an Anthony DeStefano book, I think, right?
The guy's
Yeah, I have that one.
I heard. I was about to say I read the audiobook. I listened to the audiobook. It's pretty good. It was pretty good.
Manny Grossman in the house. What's going on, buddy?
Hey, Grossman, what's up? Grossman's pretty intense when it comes to the Son of Sam. One of the best around when it comes to Son of Sam knowledge.
Yep, for sure. Manny Grossman. Guys, go over to Manny Grossman's channel if you want to know about SOS, David Berkowitz. Oh, check out 1977 on this channel here, where Manny joins us for that discussion.
Mm-hmm.
They were everywhere, Brett. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't doubt it. In Brooklyn,
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
Especially
Bensonhurst, Gravesend.
Brooklyn, I feel like Hootie was the mecca, and I'm talking about Bensonhurst, of organized crime.
Right.
You know, it was everything came out of Brooklyn.
Gaslight Studios. Were the Laporta brothers, Albert Ficalora and Benito Zito in Philly, affiliated with the Bananos, or they were independent contractors when it came to drug trafficking?
I don't think Benny Zito was from Philadelphia. Laporta and Figueroa were Castellamedis. I guess they were, but because they worked together in the heroin business. But you know, this is way before my time. I know those people through family. You know, one ends up getting killed and one ends up dying. But well, Laporta lived. The Farinas I'm talking about. But anyway, it's way before my time.
What's up, Ryan Brown? How you doing, buddy? BB says, Rob Jean, where you been? Where you been, cuz?
Where you been, cuz?
We're going to get a Rob Jean soundbite on this show. At the same time, the mob did bother hardworking, legit business owners, even Italian civilians.
It's a double-edged sword. We could talk about the pros and cons all day. Yeah. Roxy said, of course. It's something that, and it's not prevalent today. You know, people call cops now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, double-edged sword. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Even the pedals will call a cop if you don't fuck them up. You know, so the best thing is, I'm not going to say.
Yeah.
I'm about to say the best thing to do it.
Grossman, Chris Spina says you look like Bret Hart in that pic. Is that true?
Who's Bret Hart?
Bret the Hitman Hart. Yeah, maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah. He does. Maybe. Where's this kid? You know, where the fuck is he?
Maybe.
Come on, Billy, out there.
Hey, look who's here.
Basta. Basta's here. You want to bring Basta up?
Basta
sent me something the other day about the roundup they had in Sicily, about 100.
Oh, I saw an article earlier about that. Yeah,
that's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, Basta. Who had that up? I don't know. I don't know who I saw that from.
He texted it to me.
I don't know who I saw that put up. Saw some new videos this week about the man behind the man, behind the man, behind the money, behind the man. I saw some new ones coming out. Man behind the man,
but that sounds like a gay club, but nothing against gay people at all. But the man behind the man, behind the man.
Tom hit us with a double Basta. Arrested 183 people. Wow.
I was wrong by 2, all right? Or whatever.
Yeah, I would drop it for Tom, but the thing is, your friend's coming on in like 5 minutes, so it's gonna.
What time is it though?
That's what you said, 7:55.
Oh, okay. I thought he passed. All right, we'll give him to 8:10.
I mean, I'm not assuming that Tom would want to come on. I'm just saying.
He was somebody I grew up. I haven't seen this guy in Brooklyn forever.
From Calandra's Bath Beach stories, he said Spiro had a club, Georgie DeChico had a club, and many others within walking. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
Yeah, Rob Jean. Listen, when I was growing up in Brooklyn and Bushwick, when I'm talking about when I was very young, like 9, 8 years old, the Puerto Ricans used to have clubs on Irving and Knickerbocker, on Irving mostly because Knickerbocker was the busiest street. I remember them, and they were around Italians, and there was Puerto Rican clubs, social clubs. I remember them very well.
Ryan Brown, Brett and Frank, did you hear? I did see that. I did say something about people's houses being looked at. One of them is that old Arc Plumbing guy over there, huh?
And she said, Frank, who was your Uncle Cheech under? Now a tombstone, but back then.
All right, Tom. Tom says, can he come on for 2 seconds? Okay.
Come on, yeah, I don't care.
No, I don't care either. I'm just saying.
No, he was under Louis.
Probably wants to talk about this or anything, but I did see that talk about those places being searched. Garino's.
I want to answer Aunt C's question. He was under Joe Bucciolato at one time, then Louis Restivo, and then eventually.
Oh, BB's not happy.
Who?
No, go ahead. I'm listening.
And then eventually he was under Tony Green, but then Joe started just dealing with my uncle on a personal level.
All right. Basta. Brett's illegit.
How are you
Hey,
guys?
What's going on? What's
Hey,
going on?
Tom.
What's on your mind, Tom? We
All
got
right,
some.
I
What is it? Caesar Garino, Daniel Fama. Okay.
I figured to kill two birds with one stone rather than email Brett and text Frank. Your last recording, they get recorded your episode about growing up and the differences and nuances between like Ridgewood, Howard Beach, how he grew up. If you really anybody like if you listen to it again. If you really listen to the episode, the way Frank brings up his upbringing, how like the dynamics, you could hear respectfully the pain in your voice on certain parts of it. You even say it brings me back. Brett, the way you reflected to answer the questions and the certain things that you kind of got out of Frank that I never heard before. It was very, very powerful. And like, if you listen to it again. And if you didn't, like, the next thing you do after you watch this, it was really good, guys. Really good.
Oh, I appreciate that, Tom. Thank you. That's why we come on. We wanted to see people's reactions to it. I think that we thought it came out pretty good.
Yeah.
So no, that's cool, man. Thank you, buddy.
There's a lot of emotions that come into that that I'm never going to get back. People that are no longer with me, people that are still alive that I'm not going to obviously see anymore. I think that part of my life, what I discussed on that last episode, was the part of my life that where innocence wasn't lost yet. It was getting there.
But that's where, like, and you kind of left this on the cliff. Like, you kind of mentioned it was like innocent times that we were innocent. You said it kind of a few times. And like, you were kind of, I don't know if it's purposefully or just where you left off, but you kind of left us like wanting for more. And what's crazy is if you really think back, when you were talking, I thought assuming you were like high school and post high school, you're fucking 15 years old.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you're like 13, 12, 14. This is the stage where we were going to the video, to the candy store and playing video games. The only thing we had to worry about at that time was beating the other guy scoring pinball or a video game.
Yeah.
It wasn't about, one day the feds coming to pick us up or not. Some of us had it worse. They had family members in jail and or going to visit them on a weekend, and they used to go on Friday, come back on a Sunday. A lot of that was going on. And we had a lot, a lot of. It was a rough time in my neighborhood. We didn't have it like what we were getting over. The other kids in the Italian American neighborhoods were starting to see. The older heads in our neighborhood, they were going away. And so a lot of it had to be like either we do what we got to do and show them that we're able and capable at one point, and then at one point people got it. Even those kids in other neighborhoods, they're like, they're gonna shoot you, they're gonna kill you. Then don't fuck with them because they've been fucked with too long. Their family hasn't been around for a while. They have family members that you're not gonna see unless you fuck with them.
Yeah.
And they have ties to Dominicans, Puerto Ricans,
and
Colombians. We did, and that's how we handled those other people.
Well, one thing that really stood out, well, a few things. The first was, you saw the you listened to the escalation, right? We went from kind of like messing around, and you're like, hey, he got beat up, and then he talked about like knives. And then he talked about guns. You kind of like saw like an escalation as you went along. And the other thing that really stood out to me and it kind of shocked me, and not that I was in the life, but being in the Jersey Italian American, you knew people. You said kind of when somebody dies, it's kind of like a black mark against you. Like if your grandfather, father, whoever it was, like they died, it wasn't like, oh, let's like corral around him or community supports him. It's almost like your old man's dead, you're nobody, we don't need you anymore, see you later. And it's kind of a testament of why it broke down. It should be the opposite. If like your grandfather was a made guy, your father was
it's such an honorable, straight up society and organization, why don't you take care of it? If his fucking kids were if he was your best friend, why not take care of his kids, right?
Yeah.
Do the right thing. Instead, you got a lot of guys like, you know what? His father was a scumbag. Fuck that piece of shit kid,
Except for Vito, though, right? That wasn't his case.
Huh?
Except for Vito, though, right? I mean, they
He
kind
was
of
exception because
they took him in.
he had something coming. Who knows? Maybe his the guy who Vito's
Gazzardo,
his
right?
Gazzardo didn't like mini unions, and he used that as an excuse to fucking when I die, go take care of that piece of shit.
Why did Vito Guzzo get? I know, like they killed his father, and he did the whole like Hollywood style hit. He shot a made guy. I think they killed one of the guys. Why did he get killed for that? Especially with the Colombos.
He got locked up not too much after. A lot of stuff. I don't know. I mean, a lot of shit came out of it. He had just got hit with 40 years or 5 murders, held his mud. I don't. It would have been very interested to see if that Vinny Unions was still alive or what it came out of it when he came out of jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I just saw a post, one of the 5 family Instagrams. It's actually pretty good. They put up guys that you don't regularly hear about. So they put up Michael DeNose. And interesting enough is I didn't realize his father got killed, right? And I remember, I think it was like Panisi, but I've heard this a few times.
That's bullshit. I heard that. I know what you're about to say.
Well, if your father got killed, you can't be a boss. It's not true.
Where did he change the fucking rules?
Who said that? Who's the one that said that?
Panisi said that.
Okay.
Panisi said that, but in fairness, I did hear it before.
Yeah.
But hold on.
I'm sick of these fucking guys go, well, Frank Fiordilino? He was an associate. You know what? I was a lot more able and capable out of you guys.
Well, I heard it before, but it was a big
made today.
Yeah, I heard it before, but it was a big contradiction. I'll give you why. They're like, oh, it's an old Sicilian rule, right? So the reason for that was because if you become boss, you're going to get revenge on the people who killed your father. But in Sicily, like if your father didn't get killed in a mob, are you a mobster? So it's like it didn't really jive when I heard it. I'm just you know.
Yeah.
You guys listen back too, speaking about, what Tom's saying about the emotion and stuff like that. There's a part in the Vito Guzzo episode that we did, and I uploaded a separate clip on it about the Ralph Schuler murder and about you lying to Bobby Glasses saying you don't know anything about it. Hearing Vito Guzzo tell you don't got to worry about him anymore, and then you kind of getting like a chill out of that.
I wish he would have told me that.
Everything changed.
And
that's
I
like
remember it was a Sunday.
Yeah.
I remember it was a Sunday, so I don't know if he died on a Sunday, probably.
Yeah.
Because it was a couple of hours after. I don't know, and not after. Okay, so Sunday he went missing. Monday they went looking for him. So Sunday I was been told that, and Monday a lot of these people help him go look for it. The mom's like, it's not like him. Actually, she starts going off on Big Head, Iavani, and like, you always call him. Why don't you call him? You know where he is. She was kind of like felt that he had something to do with it. At the funeral, she keeps telling him like, you don't call him no more. What the hell? You know what happened and all that kind of stuff. I have pictures. This is kind of, because we're talking about his mom and her son being killed. And a week later, he gets caught. But while this is going on, I'm guilty of it too. I mean, but at the same time, you're picking alliance, and it is what it is. I mean, I felt maybe at times, maybe a lot of stuff that contributed to Ralphie's, that was the way me and Ralph used to handle each other and get into it. And Vito didn't like that, among other things. He had a real weird. He had shot some guy, Mikey Hollywood. He was getting too big of himself, He was doing stuff, insulting people at the time. I remember Paul holding me back from going after Ralph because I was at work. No, don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. So he was starting to get too big for his brain.
Yeah. Really, one more quick thing, and then I'll jump off. Some of you guys have somebody coming on.
No, if this guy, I got to call this guy again and find out where he's from.
I think you guys were chatting about our mafia neighborhood safer. And Brett, if I could find it, I'll send it to you.
Sure.
There was a study done, like a sociological study. It wasn't a big study. It wasn't any big like Harvard or anything. But there was a study done that looked at were mafia neighborhoods safer than like non-mafia neighborhoods. And they did like an analysis. I think it was like Bensonhurst and let's say Dyker Heights and Bay Ridge and like other enclaves where there were Italians. And interesting enough is what the data showed it didn't. It wasn't safer.
Really?
Because it wasn't because the mafia was there or not. It was because they were where, let's say, Italians were in general. And those, like let's say you go to Bensonhurst first, you make some money, and then you go to Dyker Heights, right? Or in New Jersey, you went to Elizabeth, then you went to maybe Edison or Kenilworth, right? So because they kind of migrated along with like other kind of people before them to nicer areas, those areas were kind of nicer anyway, but the perception was it was a mafia. So what the study showed, there wasn't any necessarily greater protection or greater safety in mafia neighborhoods. So just you guys mentioned that because I'm like a nerd with that kind of stuff.
No, that makes sense.
No, there's a lot of
honestly, like I said, I didn't grow up in a social club neighborhood where all these guys are around, but I always just innately had a problem with people saying that, even though I didn't like experience it. There was always something about it where I didn't think that was completely true, at least to me. I don't know. It was just a feeling I had. But and also, like, what mafia neighborhood are you talking about? Are you talking about Ozone Park or Woodhaven back in the day? I mean, even today, those neighborhoods aren't bad, but you can still get shot or stabbed. Like, they're not the greatest neighborhoods in New York City.
Oh, the study was, and I'll send you the link. The study was, does defended neighborhoods, like mafia type of neighborhoods, organized crime, did it lower street crime? And it didn't necessarily do it.
Right.
There's pros and cons. Like, for example, I mean, I wouldn't want to raise my daughters in a mob neighborhood for a lot of reasons, because the mob guy might like my daughter. And I've seen the ugly side of that.
No, I bet, yeah.
And I've seen a real ugly side to that, and it's not. You just want to pick up and go because you got caught up in a bad fucking situation. You're not gonna abuse them or nothing, but it's like, well, you know what? Your son's a little bit aggressive on the way he talks, even though it might be so. It's like you want to control your family. You don't want to be in a situation now where you're gonna end up killing this fucking kid, and now you're really in fucking deep shit.
Frank, let me ask you a question. What are the things that I'm trying to nail down, and talk it from, let's say you got your era, and then you can kind of like, I'm just going by guys that are out, so you can benchmark, right? You kind of, I have Sakali, then you have like, let's say Gene, I know was an associate, but Gene, and then obviously later Panisi. You could probably throw Joya in on the front end of that. So when did the mob stop doing kind of and I'm not saying there was community service in any way, but the bottom line is when you were connected, if you knew somebody and something happened again to your sister, your mother, your aunt, your brother, you can go to them and you would get justice, right? When did that kind of stop? Like, would you say the 90s? Was it 2000s? Because like right now, like if you know a mobster and you go to them, oh my God, they essayed my sister. They're gonna do shit. You know what I mean?
It's pick and choose.
But by and large, though, like it used to be, if you knew some in the 90s, 100%, and I was not connected. But if I knew the right guy in Elizabeth and somebody fucked me, that kid's getting jumped. Like it wasn't a big deal, right? What I'm getting at is
who fucked with you,
What I'm getting at is, when did it kind of stop being kind of like the second police for the Italian community? Like
I have the police, and to be honest with you, they really didn't get involved unless they were making money with the parents, something like that. Like I know what you're saying. The guy from the same town goes up there. Yeah, he might go up to the guy, goes, "Do me a favor, let it go." But he wasn't applying himself like an aggressive.
I always think about that story from Luigi Roncesvalles when the guy went to his paisan and killed the guy because
bad example. When you talk with me about him,
yeah, he hates him.
It's just weird. I'll give you an example. Okay, Sally Ironworker's older brother, like the girl. And my uncle was probably like the guy to go to from my town. People say, well, Sally Ironworker's dad was a bad guy. I never heard of that. And he was there at a fucking. I knew him as a hard worker. I think they got the Montagnas mixed up. He went to the girl's dad went to my uncle and said, "Hey, you know them? They're from your town. His older brother's a nice guy, but he just liked the girl a little bit too much to stop." It wasn't abusive. It was maybe a little aggressive, but not bad. And they went to my uncle and he made it stop.
Yeah.
But
let me rephrase in an area that you're an expert in, right?
I don't
like
know.
If we're Paisani, right? Real Paisani. I'm from Castellamare, like real Paisani, right? if I had a problem, I could have went to you, or could have went to your uncle, could have went to your brother. If we're paisani now and I come to and we're not making money together, we don't care. Give me like the time frame where you think that stops. Some people said the 90s, some said the 10s. In your opinion,
I wasn't out there at the 10s. In the 90s, it existed. I mean, it's a squash it, not violence.
I'm not gonna kill somebody over. I'm just saying.
Nobody was doing that unless this guy was a real scumbag and the guy they were fucking with was making them money.
Got it.
Even if the guy was a scumbag, if they weren't making money, they're like, hey, yeah, listen, stop.
Well, I asked multiple mobsters. I said, if somebody's messing around with your niece or somebody's messing around with your associate, but he's a big earner, they're honest. They're like, we typically would take action on the earner and maybe jump in on the niece and threaten, but not really do much. They were honest about it.
I don't know. My cousin, I guess this was late 80s. My cousin Dino got into it with his girl. I think it got a little rough. Somebody knocked on his door and stabbed him.
Yeah, but like, so I'm not, if you hear Joya's story, and Joya has an interesting story. I know, I know some people don't like him. I think he's a little out there, but he was at an interesting time. So there's one story where I think his buddy, he was made, his buddy, another wise guy that wasn't made went after the guy's girlfriend. And when he was like going on her, he's like, let's say I'm going after Brett's girl. And when Brett's girl's like, well, I'm with Brett, and he's friends with Frank, and I'm like, oh, fuck them, right? It got back to Joya and his buddy it was her boyfriend. They killed the guy. What I'm getting at is, like, back then they killed, like, there was a story, I think it was Panisi or somebody told me, it was in like Ridgewood or something, or Ozone Park. A captain walked in like with his wife, and two younger guys like really disrespected a wife in front of him. They found the guys dead like the next week.
Jeez.
Like, so what I'm getting at is, how did it go from like that to like where it is now? Like that like, I know you said the same, Brett, you and I are more like on like the academic like content creation.
I hear what you're saying. No, I get it.
How does that go from here to there? You know what I mean?
It probably just goes away with everything, with the whole with how violence kind of left. It probably just is another aspect of why don't they kill as much as they used to kill, or I guess the whole edge is probably just taken out. It's probably just in a basket with a bunch of other things. I mean, but that's not to say. I mean, I would probably say that somebody could still get an ass beating. I mean,
oh yeah, for sure.
As we see on film.
I don't understand why people keep thinking that's not a thing.
All right, listen, I don't wish harm on anybody, especially Frank or anybody informed. I don't wish any harm, right? But like, I still don't get why the mob didn't just maybe pick one or two informants and just get rid of them, like the Buscetta's whole family, and like then it would be like, oh shit, you know what? Like that could be me, and it could kind of deter informants a little bit. I'm just surprised that like they didn't go after like what was it called? Barboza got killed right away in what is it called, in San Fran. Yeah, Abe Rellis took a little hike off the building. So like you didn't inform because of legitimate concern. I was always wondering.
You're talking about families, like women and children?
Either or, like just post Casa, obviously.
You want to know why? Because the guy who's going to do it is going to flip on two guys. The other two guys are going to flip on 20 guys. Then you got a 30-man indictment for what, a rat?
Well, I got a story. I got a DeMeo. I mean, sorry,
another 5-10 people.
Sorry, guys. DeMeo crew. I don't know if you're sick of it or not, but whatever. I got a DeMeo crew story where they killed this kid Joseph Viggiano. Roy dismembered him on top of the show world in the middle of Times Square. The parents come looking for him. I think the father might have been a Genovese associate, Al and Paul Viggiano. They come looking. Where's our son Joe? We want to know where he is. Next thing you know, they ended up with bullets in their head in Canarsie. So they wiped out like a whole fucking patriarchy. The whole fucking family's gone in like in a short amount of time. So I guess it depends who it is too. I mean,
well, they killed Buscetta. They killed. I think.
Buscetta. Did you see the movie? The Portuguese people call him Buscetta. He goes, it's Buscetta. Get it right.
I know. I call him Buscetta. But Buscetta, they killed like 18 members of his family.
Yeah, shit like that. I could never see that happening in the United States, because then that would just expedite the feds. I mean, even quicker. I mean,
Yeah,
when you
but
start
so
killing
we
kids,
say that, right? So watch, we say that. We say they don't kill because it'll activate the feds. And I do agree with there'll be additional pressure and resources, right? But you're trying to tell me there's like guys sitting in a van right now in a squad, granted smaller, saying, they're not killing people. I don't want that promotion. Let's kind of hold off. No,
They don't need guys in the van. They got guys working right now. Every
Well,
family
that's-
has at least 5-10 guys fucking talking to them. Are you kidding me?
well, I heard they cut it out a little bit. I don't know how true that is, but
They said when the Cantarellas both flipped, the cousin Joe D'Amico almost knocked the fucking prosecutor's door down.
Jeez.
They
I don't
didn't
know what
arrest
they're
him. He
doing
said,
now.
"What do you want to know? What do you want to know?" And I'm over there sitting like a fucking clown while they're arresting
according
all
to
these
fucking
echelons of the Bonanno family.
But so hold on, Frank. One of the things that jumped out again, which Brett did, I'm not just saying this, guys. It was an exquisite episode, right?
Thank you.
One of the things that kind of Brett got out of you was like, and again, I listen to weird stats. You got to forgive me, but only like 4% of Italian Americans are below the poverty line. Now, a lot of us are middle class, but what I'm getting at is like we weren't poor, right? Frank was saying we weren't poor, so like there wasn't a socioeconomic pressure for you to do what you did. Then why do it? Like Brett kind of inadvertently got that out of you, and you answered it, but like what I can't get my head around is like it wasn't because you were poor, like you weren't in the Bronx, you weren't like you had money, you weren't rich, but you weren't poor. So what was the motivation? You got what I'm saying?
The excitement, a lot of it, wanting to be part of something that family before you were part of. You're being taught that bad is good.
Yeah.
And that positive reaction, negative reactions get positive reactions.
Yeah.
And you want to be part of that. You want to be.
But your parents were around.
Why do people join motorcycle gangs?
But your parents were around though, no?
When I was like
growing up.
Yeah, they were. Of course, they were around. But my mom, I always say it, she grew up around that life as well. Because she grew up in a time in Sicily where the authorities were all corrupt and you couldn't trust them, and the fascists were just they didn't like them. So she didn't want me to become a cop or even communicate, not in a sense of not communicate, but comprehend what they were about. Just go to work, stay away from this, stay away from that, but stay away from this. Go work, make money, and mind your business. That's what she wanted, So my family.
I think I asked you if you were embarrassed, like if you ran into like a friend that was like doing good, maybe he was going to college, whatever. Hey, what are you up to, Frank? Oh, being a criminal. I don't know. Like
that part that I found interesting too, because I worked like a lot. I went to college, but I worked like 50 hours a week on average and still went to school. And then like I would be like at 7-Eleven, like after 12-hour days, 15-hour days, and you run into the kid that's going away to school at an Ivy League or whatever.
Yeah.
There were times I felt inadequate where I was like, oh shit, like I took the Notre Dame game and I'm like, oh yeah, we got sludge in the morning. And that was like such a profound question. And Frank answered it honestly. I don't think Frank at the time, judging by your answer, was thinking that way, because that's a rational way to think, right?
Whatever a kid wanted in my age, I'm sorry about that, but whatever a kid wanted at my age, and from anything from video games to going to a nightclub later on and having a whole bunch of money in their pocket that your friends didn't have, who was supplying us with that was the older people. So I wanted to do what they were doing because life just seems so easy. Fuck school, need school when you fucking have $300 in your pocket at 14, 13. Right. That type of shit, or buy whatever the fuck you want. A lot of your friends couldn't even buy shoes because their parents didn't make enough money, and you bought your own shoes. So.
Yeah, but Frankie, this is what fascinates me, even about that episode. You're like a drop older than me, but like you're kind of that cutoff of like where you still kind of needed to do that, and I feel like younger as Italians, we had like opportunities. So I didn't see what you saw. Does that make sense? Like, I was going to be a doctor. I wasn't going to be a doctor. Yeah. But like, my mother was the same way. She was off the boat. You either get a trade or you go to fucking school, nothing in the middle. Like there's no, that's what are the other, right? And
No, I get it. We were the minority in that aspect within the Italian community. When you talk about organized crime, the mafia, and Vito Grimaldi used to tell me this all the time, we are the very, very, very small minority of the United States. And when I don't know if he meant organized crime, but I'm pretty sure he did, or whatever. If you think about how many members in organized crime.
Well, there was
800. Let's say 800 for argument's sake. All right, whatever. I don't know. 800, and then you might you divide that by 350 million in the United States. What do you get?
Right. Well, not just that. This goes like in the 80s. Not even now. Now it's probably 1 out of 50,000. But during the 80s, and that was a whole like Italian civil rights and all that kind of stuff. But in the 80s, even 90s, only 1 out of every 10,000 Italian Americans even touched or knew somebody in organized crime. So it was so crazy that like Italians got painted with this brush of being OC when it was like 1 out of every 10,000. Right now, it's probably 1 out of 800,000. Right? Think about it. In New York City right now, in the 5 boroughs, there's definitely less than 1,000 inducted members out of a city of 8 million. It's not
I would
many.
say so.
Yeah.
I would say so. Yeah.
So when you talk about how I didn't know my generation was that small. I just see what was in front of me,
And we have guys on YouTube who say they're currently talking to 7 of them. So that's a pretty good clip, huh?
Yeah.
That's not bad. What's that stat, Tom? That's
Yeah, so you're talking to 10% of the Colombo family right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Tom, I bet you'll never go to Starbucks again. Hold on.
Tom, you like Starbucks?
Why am I going to roast you?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
You like that?
I have to share one quick story. I was with Karen. We were at an event. They were opening like a med spa in New York City. I worked in that space. I sold like stuff to med spas, and I was bringing somebody who was from the street, like kind of from Brooklyn, and bringing another friend from Jersey who was kind of in the street. When they saw Karen, everybody said hello to her. Everybody talked to her. Everybody like they weren't neglecting her at all. That's why I kind of laugh a little bit when people are like, "Oh, how do you talk to rats?" Meanwhile, I was like worried about bringing my guy because he had a flower shop in Brooklyn. And I don't know if you guys remember, she had a flower shop and she got all the Gambino business. So when and Rob, I think Rob's on, he'll know what I'm talking about. But when they went out of business overnight, when he ratted, and all the flower shop business kind of went over to them. And then when they saw each other, they were talking about the flower shops. And I was like, how are you even allowed to talk to her? Another funny story really quick was, I'm just going to mad at me for saying this, but I was at another event for another client, and the owner of the building or the place was dating a street guy from Brooklyn. When he walked in, Ramona Rizzo that was there, she's my friend too from the Mob Wives.
Yeah.
Called him by his street name, like, hey, so-and-so, like, they're not thinking. He got he flipped. Like he was like, nobody calls me that here. I find like that, and they had to talk to her. You talk to her, no problem. Karen wasn't there that night. And I know people are mixed on Ramona. Ramona never informed. She never, dated an informant.
Why would they?
They get on Ramona about 1 for being on the show.
Yeah.
And number 2 for being close with Karen. She stuck by. I will give her this. And you guys can say what you want about Ramona. She stuck with Karen.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah.
Through thick and a lot of people, through thick and.
Her
thin.
uncle is lefty.
Yeah, and her father is somebody that's allowed.
Her grandfather's something. I think she's the one that said he killed over
200. What's on the books is her grandfather's somebody. He's older now, but somebody.
Okay.
Her uncle, her grandfather was lefty, and she dated Scalfani, who got shot. The one who got shot with Gus Faraci.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, but she's friends with Karen unapologetically, and I respect her for that. You could say what you want.
Yeah, well, that's reality. When in the real world, you know what I'm saying? Not whatever's going on.
Is that a husband or something, or a boyfriend? The guy who got shot.
I was at another party recently, Tom.
Yeah.
You might actually like this. I was at a rooftop in Manhattan.
Where's Latrell?
The dance floor.
Latrell.
Are you there? I thought you would.
You're the fucking best, Brett.
Become a yuppie. He's become a yuppie.
Wait, Gus Fracci was Greg Scarpa's cousin?
Is that
Oh,
true?
I don't think.
Oh, yeah, I'm not really reading all the comments, but I'm just glancing over when I can. But
I'm getting a.
I don't know. There was a girl that popped up on YouTube a while ago to say Gus Faragi's my uncle and this and that. She didn't seem like she was lying. I don't know. It was just like a weird.
I heard the real reason why they wanted to kill him because he was like fucking Jerry Chili's daughter, or
Right. What's with that, Frank? Was he with?
No, he was. He was banging her. She was hiding him or something like that. And,
weren't they hiding him like in a house that was under construction or something?
Somewhere. Yeah. They took her into. She did time for that.
Wait, Frank. The other one I'm scratching my head on. Jerry Chili's kid, and it was Lefty Ruggiero's kid.
Tommy, I think his
got
name was.
killed,
Yeah.
and nobody can give me a straight answer.
All right. So who told me this story was the guy who was around Joe Chili. Joe Chili is that nephew.
Oh,
his name was Blondie. I remember running into, and Blondie was they've been arrested together on drugs forever. Even when Blondie was on the street, he took it back in on another indictment. Guys would stand up and everything, and he knew this story. It was something that they went to do drugs or into drugs or whatever. They went to where's that spot? Roosevelt Island. Oh no, not Queens, not Roosevelt Island, but Queensbridge, right when you get over the 59th Street Bridge.
Well, the strip clubs are, or used to be.
This guy gave him bad stuff or something, some Irish guy, and they, my scores used to be something to that. That's the way it was told to me a long time ago, and or they tried. It was a drug deal gone bad. He killed both of them. That's what it wasn't. They didn't know. They didn't overdose.
Yeah, but I was told like the Lefty's grandson, whatever, or son, whatever it was. Wasn't supposed to be there. Number two, how does that go unanswered? But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it did go. No, they end up killing the guy, an Irish kid.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Nobody ever told me that.
Yeah, no, they ended up killing the kid. It was an Irish kid who did it. But that was years ago. And I heard it through I guess that was like third, fourth party. Would I sign off on that? No.
I also heard like really conflicting things about Jerry Chili. One being like more like a Skustamad, like a fat, like gross, like a Skustamad. You know what Skustamad is, right?
Yeah.
But then I also heard he was like very buttoned up and like made a fuck ton of money and was like really serious and like really like kind of clean cut, the opposite of a Skustamad. So I just heard like two people who knew him pretty well, but they described him the bipolar opposite of each way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you know much about him or no? Just out of curiosity.
No. These guys, these were like 80s.
Well, Florida, right? They were in Florida, right?
Supposedly making big money. Supposedly,
the Chili's.
Yeah, supposedly he was. So that's the other thing. Like I have my rabbit holes. I like Brett. I know you do too. One of my rabbit holes was kind of the cocaine craze in the 80s and how the mafia. Like the Ippolito was with the Cavalcantes. He was a pretty big coke guy. The guy who flew the planes, Roberts, was a Riccoboni or Riccobono.
Yeah, John Riccobono.
You're trying to tell me his father's a made guy, his uncle's a made guy. He's flying for whoever Escobar, and he's not hooking them up. Like it gets weird right? CIA, it gets like kind of weird and murky. But I can't get a lot on that.
Yeah, John Riccobono, they actually connected him to like a nightclub owner's murder before he left out to
really
Miami. Yeah, he's they never could prove he did it, but
he's not the one who killed oh no, I was thinking somebody else. Somebody killed Meyer Lansky's stepson. A Genovese.
Yeah, so I know that story too. I don't know if he has anything to do with that. I'm not.
No. I was totally sidetracked. I thought somebody was wrong. So
it was like a restaurant. He owned a restaurant in Florida.
Yeah, but you're trying to tell me that Roberts didn't connect any of the Sicilian mafia Gambinos to the cartel when he was flying it in. I just have a hard time.
Well, that Roberts guy.
John Pennell Roberts.
So I was on the who called me up? The fucking National Geographic people. They go, you know anything about the Roberts guy? I'm like, no. And then I said, then you came. Remember, I told you that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know nothing about him. I said, well, we're looking for somebody who knows anything about him. I said, I don't know.
There's not a lot, and I heard from one source that supposedly he had a button. I didn't believe it that he did.
I didn't even know who he was.
He was Rick. He was a Riccobono.
Now talk about Chili. All right, this is the thing about Chili. Chili was who he was, you know, in New York. But if you talk to anybody who's even bumped into him in Florida, they know everything. I was around him. He was a great guy because he used to like fucking double kiss everybody in fucking South Florida. You get all these fucking wannabes every time man, he was good to me. And what the fuck? I mean, did you know him? No.
Listen, that's why if you I've probably been recorded for thousands of hours on air. I've been at people's houses. I had dinner. They've been to my wedding, my first wedding. Like Easter, I'll see people. I know nothing about what they do other than them give me a booster at the wedding or seeing them at a party, and I will never say I'm around anybody because I'd be almost embarrassed to go to them at this point. You know what I mean? So that's why I find people like if they're related or whatever, they automatically assume that they're connected. I don't know.
First of all, I like the name Bo. I like the name, but I don't know if that guy's for real, Bo.
I had him on. That was supposedly the guy that I had Carlos on with. Somebody separately reached out to me and like as good as you could verify. When I had Cayucci on, because I got a lot of shit for it. I got a lot of shit. I got this book somewhere in here. I got a lot of shit for it. I think it was more his father, not him. And I think he might just, it's like a little mood. I call it the mozzarella. Like you stretch it a little bit, you know. It's still connected, but maybe not as much. But I don't think total. I wouldn't put him in like what was that guy? Frank's friend, the guy in Lee Cole's show.
Ranzavelli.
No, the guy in Lee Cole's show. He was his ex-host.
Oh, Danny Trio.
Yeah, it wasn't Danny Trio. Yeah, I don't think it was Danny Trio. But he also wasn't like
he's cleaned a couple of Chili's urinals down in Florida.
So I would put him in Danny Trio territory, but I wouldn't put him as maybe as much of an associate as Frank. Somewhere in the middle, maybe.
Yeah, because he was talking about how he vividly remembers this homicide happening in '76, and I did the math. I'm like, how old was this guy? He was like fucking 4 or 5 years old.
He did bring up in Adamo. There was the Cavalcante guy who later turned informant, and he seemed to know more about him than you normally would. And I knew somebody who knew him. Does Adamo ring a bell, Brett?
No,
it was a little lesser known. Like the Cavalcantes, I think, under the guy at Bolito, had a bigger crew than I think we've ever even thought of. And supposedly, I don't know if you saw Chris Todd, the guy who runs around saying the mob killed OJ.
I saw him on your show.
You had that guy on too.
I saw him on your show.
I'm actually pretty friendly with him. He swears Polito did it. He swears him and that Charlie.
Right.
Charlie, but you know what's funny? He like the more that comes out, it doesn't sound as like tin hatish. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm not like completely against what he says. I don't know if I have time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I have time for the rabbit hole, really. You know.
Oh my god! What are your rabbit holes, Brad? Just out of curiosity.
Well, like outside mobs,
in the mob stuff. Like, what are your rabbit holes?
Well, everybody knows it's just the Mayo crew. I mean, that's my ultimate rabbit hole. Outside of that. Lucchese stuff, 80s, 90s, Lucchese stuff. Some of the Gotti characters, I like a lot of that. I'm into a lot of that stuff.
Me too.
Some of the Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, Soviet mob, very much into that.
Rezakov or whatever his name was.
The Stefano's book is pretty good. The one he writes about the Gotti's boys.
Yeah.
And when I like again, I listened to it. I don't read books anyway. I listen to it.
So really quick, Brett, you can maybe help me with this. So I interviewed Billy Catola Jr. It was one of my longer interviews, 2.5 hours. You know, great guy. I think he's a gentleman.
Yeah.
I believe he talks in good faith. I say to anybody, so I have people come on in good faith. If they say something wrong, just contest it, right, or prove it. I got a lot of shit about that interview because he mentioned riding his bike and going into the Gemini Lounge, and then them kind of figuring out who his father was, and they were kind of cool to him, gave him like a lemonade and went on his way. Out of the 2.5 hour interview, I got 30 messages about that.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I know it's part you're talking about. He says that his father said something about, how many times they had to paint the
Don't go
wall in
there.
that place or something. Yeah. I have DeMail radar. If anything gets said about, I'm there. Now the only thing I'll say about that is, it's quite possible. I mean, I believe maybe his father knew him. I mean, I can't say. I mean, he was around that area, right? Were they living in Canarsie, Cotulla, or Flatlands? Or I mean, Gemini Islands is Flatlands proper, but I don't know if they were around. I mean, if he's riding,
like the only part I listen again. I don't think Billy's lying. I'm actually surprised. How would he know who they are? If you think about it, like back, they weren't the Gemini crew back then in terms of notoriety.
Well,
what year?
I mean,
What year did you say it happened?
Well, I do believe Billy, but I literally like Brett, you get this probably once in a while. I have people like send me timelines, birth certificates. Like one guy built a website and gave me like 10 factual reasons why it didn't exist. But I'm like, I asked other people, and like it's plausible,
Wait. Why? What didn't exist?
And then the timing, they're like, oh, at this age, he would have been this age, and at that point, he lived here, and he would have had to drive his bike.
They were going that deep.
I have some.
Well, all I know is it would have had to happen before 83. I mean, the meeting at the lounge, him driving by. But then I think he said that years later he asked his dad, "Hey, Dad, how come you told me never to go back in there?" And that would also imply that
he was there one time.
But that would also imply that Bill Sr. knew what was going on there, and that's an often debated thing whether people knew really what was going on there.
The length of it, what do you call that?
Or when Murder Machine Mania happened in '92.
Right, so hold on, I gotta ask you real quick. Did Kuklinski get poisoned by Sammy?
No.
Huh? That's back to that fucking other guy. What was it?
He tried to frame him. He tried to frame him for the fucking Peter Calabro murder.
You know what? Rondavelli became the fucking Sicilian Iceman because of you guys.
So wait, Brett, in all seriousness, in Kuklinski's book, I do buy they beat the shit out of his uncle or whatever, and him, and I did believe he did some work with them. But where it's Kuklinski?
He said they beat him up.
They were in the porn business, and that's how they came by. They came by, and I guess whatever.
Well, I'll say one thing. I'll say one thing. He says in like 1972 or 73 or something, he's in a porn lab and Joe Dracula Guglielmo's there beating him up. Joe Dracula Guglielmo was in prison. He wasn't around. I'll also say about the Philip Carlo book. There's a guy that Roy murders called Paul Rothenberg, who was in 1973. I think it's June of 73. In the book, the guy Rothenberg dies in 74. So I mean, and I even think he refers to Harvey Rosenberg as like another Jewish name in the book a couple of times. There's a lot of missed dates, and there's a lot of things that I don't.
You guys could because I think you both can give color to this. All right. The guy Rosenberg that get killed, was that a Cuban gangster or Colombian gangster? I'm a detail guy.
Those were Cubans.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I read in the book.
Okay, so number two, you're trying to tell me in like what was it, 70s or 80s, Brett?
This deal went down in 79.
Okay, so you somehow get a Gambino captain on the phone saying we're gonna come there as Cubans, we're gonna rain hell on the mafia in the New York at 70s. And then the mafia is like, we don't need this headache, or kowtows to them and kills one of their own. Can you give me like the quick and dirty on that? Because I can't reconcile that.
Right.
Okay, just then. I'm sorry.
First, Harvey Rosenberg or Chris Rosenberg. I'm sorry, Frank. Are you saying something?
I'm sorry. No, go ahead, guys. I got the email of. We're going to talk about the great heist of the fireworks, right? The Ivanni case.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Oh, he's here, your guy. You guys here?
So I'm going to send you his.
Send me his email. I'll send him the link.
And then you send him the link.
All right. Yeah, but we can finish this. We can finish this.
So
Harvey Rosenberg was. I don't know if you can call him one of their guys. I mean, he was a Jewish kid.
No, but he was like a super associate of the crew. No,
he was. But the thing is, here's the thing, Tom. They killed so many people, but most of it wasn't sanctioned.
Okay.
They were just murdering so many fucking people, and Harvey Rosenberg was murdering so many people on the side through his own deals. He was just a sick fuck. And basically what happened was that became such a big thing because there was the Cubans. They were upset. And I think kind of Nino Gadji I don't know. They found out about it somehow, right?
Was it an
So-
excuse, maybe, just to do it? Like they want
no, because Roy wouldn't want to do that. I mean,
well,
the way
so real quick, the movies have, and I know some movies have Castellano calling Gadji in, and Gadji sat down with Roy and said he's got to go, and he's like, if anybody's going to do it, it's me. But I don't know.
right when they had to do it in a fantastical kind of way, where they set him up on the side of the road and they machine gun the car to make it look like this crazy fucking hit, and all this other stuff. And Roy would never have wanted to do that. That was like treated him like a son or whatever. And basically, Harvey was a piece of shit. I mean, I'm friends with somebody that was friends with him since teenagers.
It wasn't Chris. I thought it was Chris. No.
Whose name is Harvey Rosenberg.
Oh damn! You don't fuck around.
No, he called himself Chris, but that was the problem because he called himself Chris DeMeo when he made the deal.
Okay, got it. Sorry, my bad. Okay.
Yeah, and he married an Italian girl. He called himself Christopher Rosalia. That was on his ID. So it's a lot of like, this is like the freak show of the mafia, that crew.
So they did it. So sorry, let me cut you off. So why do you think he did it? Like, what was the real reason?
Why do you think what?
So why do you think they really did it? Do you think they kowtowed to the Cubans? Like, why?
Because it was too much drama. Because these guys are sick. So he killed like 4 or 5 people at once with that Cuban deal. Not only that, but he brought in somebody who he grew up with and knew the family for the deal. And when the other family member comes looking for the family member, he kills that person too, the Padnicks. And these are people where their families knew each other. They like grew up together.
Wow.
Dude, these guys are sick. Incredibly sick.
We got to do it. Brett, when you are you willing when you come to the studio, maybe our own dedicated DeMeo show? You got that in you?
Of course, yeah. I'm waiting for somebody to fucking do that because no one ever wants to.
I'll text.
I'm waiting to get. Did you get the?
Yeah, I'm sending it to him now.
And then Frank, get us on a group chat. It'll be easier to schedule. So what I'll do is Frank come in earlier. One of you guys come in first.
Sure.
I'll do the interview. I would like to chop it up a little together, and then I want to do it. And Frank, you're obviously welcome to if you're there.
Well, no. Of course.
I would like a DeMeo show. That's what you have just like you have rabbit holes. You have like a blind spot. DeMeo is like one of my biggest blind spots. I just have no knowledge.
We can talk about the porn too. That'll blow your mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that'll blow your mind. That was his problem, though, ultimately, Tom, was that Roy DeMeo had his hands in so many things, and that's what led to him murdering so many people.
Was he wealthy?
Dude, he's a multimillionaire.
Jesus, that's
He
crazy.
was a multimillionaire serial killer.
What
if
was
you want to call him a serial
drugs?
killer.
Like, I killed people, but what was his
drugs, car thievery, loan sharking, porn.
I like the story. I like the story. I like the story that one boxer was in town or the local guy.
Let me get this. I'm trying to get this guy on. Go ahead. You guys talk about
I guess he gets to a fight with Gadji. He gets better of him. The guy goes on a lamb. They kind of lure him back and then they kill him. You remember that story?
Yeah, that was Vincent Governaro. Yeah, he was a Golden Gloves boxer.
Wow.
He punched Gadji like 10 years prior to them trying to kill him, and he held a grudge for like 10 years to like kill him.
That's nuts. That's
nuts. It's out of control.
What?
Yeah. What?
But you interviewed that Peter Lafroche or whatever his name is, right?
I speak to him a lot. Yeah, I visited him. Yeah, we talk all the time.
What was his role?
Peter Lafroche was a car thief, one of the top car thieves in New York City. He was with the Empire Boulevard operation when they were sending cars to Kuwait.
Oh shit.
He beat a double homicide twice with the crew. One in the state, one in the feds when they all got indicted. And if you look at that, listen, I can't speak to any of it, but if you go on like LCN bios or anywhere where you can get the real Roy DeMeo kill list, as somebody said the other day, I didn't realize how many mentions Pete had. So, and like I said, I can't really.
Was he an associate? He didn't have a button, right? He was an associate, right?
Did not have a button. No, he's in Murder Machine. You'll see like his mug shots in the book and everything.
He's not an informant, though. I don't think, right?
No. And I say it all the time. I might be the only one that has like a mob associate, that didn't. Inform. Actually, I'll show you a cool picture. Here he is right here. That's him next to Paul Castellano, Nino Gadji.
Oh shit.
And then you got like Anthony Center over there.
Oh shit.
And that's Willie Camp on the stand. He was a fucking CI.
You think Center or the other one would do like an interview for like 10K with prepackaged questions?
Prepackaged questions. I don't know if it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to take 10K. I don't know. It might take more than that.
Interesting.
And then they're technically not technically. They are made men.
Yeah, I just called him. He says this guy's having trouble fucking getting the thing on.
Oh, because I sent it to him. Tell him to check the email again.
Yeah.
They are made men, so I mean, there's a problem in that, and the problem is like, I don't know. They went down for like one went down for 9 murders, one went down for 8 murders, and they tried to hit him with like 150.
Can you if you got convicted and you served, can you talk about the ones you got convicted about? You can, right? It was not good form, but
I guess you could, but I don't know. I don't know if they would ever.
Well, I reached out to the nephew, and
he's an asshole.
He didn't seem too interested.
Yeah.
All
right, check it out.
He got close to getting his own live stream. He got this close.
Oh shit.
And I told him, all right, we'll just come on the show, and then he disappeared. But he thinks he could like talk to people a certain way. But
the nephew.
Yeah, isn't that right, Tony?
Don't fuck with Brett.
I told him to come on. You can come on the show anytime, Tony. But whatever.
I reached out and kind of big timed me a little bit, and I was like, "Listen, I'm not gonna personally fork over 10K, but if I have a more key interview, I could probably squeeze out some what is it called? Some sponsors, and if I can get within like 5 or 8K, fuck it. I won't go on vacation. I'm doing it. You know,
yeah.
I'm not afraid to. Listen. I got some big names. I'm not afraid to spread around money, but it's got to be reasonable. And we didn't talk money. I didn't talk money with him, and he was cool with me. But he kind of made it look like there was no money in that.
Right. And
speaking of money,
like, you know, go ahead.
My bad.
No, go ahead.
No, speaking about money, you see how much the dude put on that project coming up?
Well, which one? That was high production, right? Yeah,
the trailer was good. Yeah. Like Fish says, Sammy talks about his murders all the time. Yeah. I don't know if Tom's speaking from a monetary standpoint or just as a matter of fact, because also you got to remember they went to prison from informants, so it's not like they ever admitted to anything. So that's kind of the other thing.
Yeah, that's a different.
But,
you'd also be surprised. Like a lot of people talk about, I want 10K, 20K, 25K.
Yeah,
you'd be surprised how much you can get somebody for. And I've gotten offers of like names that'll blow your mind. The economics were too poor. Like if you say you spend 5K on a guest, like I have no problem paying. Like when I paid Pablo Escobar's wife, I would have paid and not posted. I just want to fucking talk to her.
Of course.
Right? I didn't make that back. Sammy I did at a sponsor, but with her I lost on that. But it builds a brand. And number 2, I want to talk to her. I'm a historian. Like. Right. You slept next to Pablo Escobar, when I interviewed Totorina's son, like that's kind of like when I started getting a little kind of down on the mob genre, because I interviewed like Totorina's son. He was allegedly a made guy. I'm not saying he was because it's illegal there. Frank could answer that probably better than I could. So when I told Frank, he's like, you're interviewing Salvadorina, he understood. I had to explain to like 5 people in the mob genre who he was.
Oh, here we go.
All right, I'll let you guys go. Enjoy your interview. Brett, get us Ciao.
All right, Tom, I'll talk to you.
What's going on?
Yo, what's going on, bud? How are you? Nice to meet you.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? What are you doing, buddy?
Not so much. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, it's Finnegan.
Finnegan, I know
Finnegan.
Hey, okay, all right. Yeah, I remember you up in the name, but maybe not by face. I'm trying to, clear my name here. You follow what I'm saying?
I got you.
I'll give you the fireworks story.
All right, yeah, but let's give everybody a background.
You want to hear it?
Of course.
All right, yeah, you got it, buddy. You got it.
So it's you, Mike Pruce, and Ralphie, right? Ralphie tells you there's a place.
Me, Mike Pruce, Ralph. was Bobby Caston, and Mike
Oh,
Bruce. That was the
yeah,
crew. That was the crew, right? We
yeah.
we used to hang out by late night, and I don't know. I think Mike said there was fireworks in Rob Iovanni's garage, and we took a ride up in Joey's car. Joey had a Cadillac, if I remember, black Cadillac. We went. I was the lookout guy, and this guy Andaha caught me on the corner. They got the license plate to Joey's car. It wasn't even Joey's car. It was his girl's car, his girlfriend at the time. So they run the plate, goes back to Joey, then it
Joey,
goes back to Ralph.
Ferragamo?
Farragut, yeah, Joey Farragut, because
Joe
they
Ferragamo.
loaded the
He's on
fire.
it too.
Yeah, so they loaded up the car with the fireworks. I'm on the corner, and now they're looking for me. Now, one Friday night, I'm in the diner. I'm with this girl, Teresa Caruana, and a couple of girls, because, you know, in the Friday night, everybody, you know, they went to
I
the
remember
diner after the
Teresa.
club. So this is what happens. I see the cars roll up, BMW, Mercedes. I said, they're coming for me. I know it right away. I knew right away. I take off my jewelry. I give it to Teresa. I said, anything happens to me, you give this to my cousin. So now they get me. They bring me out to fucking Gotti's club. I'm getting a beating. I mean, I'm getting fucked up. I got $100 to be a lookout guy, and I'm getting a beat. And they're like, kid, is it really worth it? I said, my man, I don't want to be a rat. You understand? Rats die in the street. I know that. So the guy he goes, you want to keep getting the beat? Is that what you want to keep doing? Was it worth it? He said, what'd you get? I said, I got 100. Is it worth $100 to get a beat? And I says, no. So he turns around and goes, Bobby Glasses was involved, you know,
Yeah.
John Gotti. I was in Gotti's club, and they turn around and they says to me,
John Gotti was there.
yeah, I was in. They brought me to his club.
Oh,
That's
they
where
brought
they brought
you
me to the
okay.
club. Yeah. So they turn around and they go, kid, nothing's going to happen to you. I'm telling you right now. Not a scratch is going to be on. Not one scratch will be on your body if you tell us who took the fireworks. I said, okay. I told him exactly what happened. I said, I got $100 to be the lookout guy, and Ralph got the fireworks.
Yeah.
They said, okay, no problem, kid. Clean me up. They go across the street. They get me some pizza, some food, whatever you want to eat. They feed me, clean me up. They bring me back home. They let me loose. Now they're looking for Ralph. Then they finally get Ralph. Then Bobby Glasses picks me up, brings me to the coffee shop on Elliott. I think it was, I don't know what the name of it was like a restaurant, Italian restaurant on Elliott Avenue. It was like on a corner. Galena, I don't know if Phil Galena owned it. I don't remember who.
Oh, the one across before Lady Hope?
Yeah. Like, so, yeah, right around there. It was right on Elliott off of Fresh Pond Road between Fresh Pond and like Metro. Because I lived right over there. So then Bobby Glasses brings me in there. He goes to Ralph's father. They bring him outside. He's talking in Italian. He says to Ralph's father, if anything happens to this kid, anything, I'm going to bring your son back in a box. That's what he tells him. I had to pay $1,000 every week. I had to see Botch every week, $50 every week until I paid $1,000 back. I wanted to become friends with Botch and Bobby. After I paid the money back, I became friends with them. Then they looked out for me. Nobody bothered me. They left me alone. You know. I'm in the place, the mechanic shop on the second floor. They used to have a poker game up there. Botch and Bobby and this guy Pete the Hook, the sausage guy.
Yeah.
And I borrowed $2,500 from Botch. I wanted to buy a car. I go back. I said, Botch, I gotta pay. He goes, 2,700, 200 juice. I'm like, 200. I said, here's your money back. He goes, but you still have to pay the 200 juice, kid. I said, no problem. You got it. But I wasn't the one that originally took the fireworks. It was Ralph.
He's the
Ralph
one who what?
was the guy. Ralph was the one that took the fireworks and sold it, and he did a big
Yeah.
fire.
No, shit, you didn't have to tell me that.
Yeah, well, Ralph. Problem with Ralph was he was getting too big. Then they took me on Traffic Street, me and Bruce, in the garage. Joey Gambino pulls out a gun. He goes, "You better go on vacation for a while. Hide, stay low, because they think that they're not going to forget about it. You know, about the fireworks." And I'm like, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" He's trying to scare me with the gun. You know, when he fired the gun in the garage, trying to scare me and Bruce. And I'm like, what the fuck? I ain't getting. It's either I'm not going to die over these fucking fireworks for $100. You out of your fucking mind. So he winds up, if I'm not mistaken, he became a rat.
Who? Joe
Was that?
Gambino. Yeah.
Joe Gambino, yeah, Gambino told me, yeah, you better he pulls out the gun.
Said,
I think he became a rat, from what I'm hearing. I don't know if it's true or not. They said, he became a rat on these guys. And I hear you talk about the Antonucci's. I know Dave and Kevin.
sure.
I know them. They were Kevin. Actually,
I
I
used to
saw
hang out.
Kevin.
I'm surprised you don't remember me. I used to hang out in the pool hall.
Yeah, that's where I hung out in the pool hall too. Then you got to know because I
I
played
must
pool.
have got into it with you once or twice.
I don't maybe I don't remember, but I hung out in the pool. Actually, speaking of pool, I became famous in pool.
Tell us your story.
I'm okay. I'll tell you the story. So I hung out in the Elite Pool Hall, Myrtle Avenue, because that's where you hung out. We all hung out there when we were kids. We always used to go there every night. And what happened was, I was working in the Board of Ed, and my wife at the time was my girlfriend. She says, "You better find another hobby to do." So I went back to pool. I went to the Golden Q on Queens Boulevard. I'm going to tell you another good. I'm going to keep going with another name you're going to know. So I went to the pool and started playing pool. One day, the owner comes to me, Bruce Lamarck and Anthony, go, "Yo, Finnegan, you want to run the pool tournaments here?" I said, "Sure. Without a doubt, I'd do it. No problem." So I started running the pool tournaments. Another guy, John Ruggiero. You know John Ruggiero? We used to call him Johnny Boy from Howard Beach.
Yeah.
He was big into. He passed away. Yes, he was. And I got some stories with Johnny too. Johnny wind up becoming tight with me. He was good. He was good. Johnny he was big in the pool. Actually, he won a pool tournament. I bought him a trophy. He won a tournament. He actually beat a professional pool player in the finals, and I went and got him a trophy and brought it to his house. So, and then back to the pool story. I was on a reality.
Yeah. Yeah, so I remember Billy. Yeah, I remember the story when they got snagged up.
What happened? We lost him.
Yeah, I guess so.
Finnegan.
What's that other guy? The pastor. This is Pastor Finnegan.
He might come back. He's still here. But yeah, he was on the reality show. Yeah, I was gonna bring it.
Yeah, he was on that reality. You have this thing there.
Right. Maybe
He just got whacked.
Finnegan.
He doesn't remember. He's talking to me, telling you right. He forgot it. I don't know. Something must have happened over the years.
What happened, Bo?
I mean, we weren't close, but Jesus Christ.
All right, guys, listen. We got a little bit of an intermission. Let's take an intermission real quick.
Where's Latrell?
On the dance floor.
Where's Latrell?
On the dance floor.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, intermission's over.
right.
Let's get to the comments.
Okay, being whacked.
Farmer was ready for it. He was like, "Let's get some Starbucks." Do
Matt
you have
said
a connect?
connect to let him just take a for sure, Matt.
Do you have a connect back to this guy? He should leave and come back. That's what he
We
should
gave
do.
him his fucking thing. The guy who told me to get in touch with him says, some things haven't changed, obviously. He was having an odd time connect.
It would be cool. No. It would be cool to have him back on, like maybe at his house, sit down,
Yeah, we could do that. But he talks about Joe Ferragamo, and that was the click. Robbie Caston. Robbie Caston was good friends with the kid who, and he could tell you the story behind that. A kid Cooper, who apparently John, who's the guy who sees ghost.
Oh, Panisi.
Killed. They were
guy
good
who
friends.
sees
So that
ghosts.
little clique there was good friends with that one kid. They got killed.
All right, so let's.
So Bobby definitely knew the kid. Billy.
So he was on a show on True TV called The Hustlers.
Yeah, Billy, pick up that link again.
Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me,
Hey,
guys?
buddy, what's going on? Yeah, you were
Yeah,
talking
it's,
about the show you were on.
It was called The Hustlers on True TV.
Yeah.
So by me playing in the pool on Myrtle Avenue, got me a little bit of famous, little fame. Not much.
How did that come about? How did they find you?
They came in. I was running because I ran big pool. I ran pool tournaments like 20 years. Yeah, from the Golden Q to numerous pools. So the last pool I was at was Steinway Billiards in Astoria, and they came in. They wanted to do what you call like sizzle reel. Where they come in, they'll film you for like 10 minutes. Then they brought the show back to all the networks, and True TV was the one that picked it up. And I didn't care about the money. All these other guys. Oh, I want to get 5,000, 10,000. We gonna get like 1,250 a show, 1,250. I would have did it for free because just for the exposure,
Right.
would have helped me out the business that I own now. And I had no clue. Nobody knew what they would do. They would just come in and fill it. Like they said, the sizzle reel is what sold it. You know what I mean? It's about gambling, because we do gamble in the pool room, But with the show, how it worked like this was, if I gambled with somebody, like you'll see, I played that girl Emily, and it was like 500. They would give us a check, and we got to pay tax on the money that we made, but because they were putting up the money, you couldn't gamble with your own money. You weren't allowed. They wouldn't let you. So that pretty much like sold the show. We got some good ratings. But like I said, all around the world, I had no clue that I was going to be the main character of the show. I had no clue until the end, once they started showing it up on TV.
Wow.
And I was on another show too on I'm trying to think of the name. In a man's world, I won another show with this girl Emily. It was pretty cool show. I think I forgot the network, but I was on like 2 shows.
You remember Millennium Pool Hall? It was in like
Yeah,
Bayside
yeah,
area.
yeah, yeah. Millennium
Right, Coast
Bayside. Yeah,
Boulevard?
yeah. Big pool tournaments over there, Millennium.
Yeah, I grew up 2 blocks away from there.
Yeah,
Pool guy, not rap. Pool rat. That's the
Yeah.
term, right? You hang out in the pool.
What was that? Was that Frank?
The pool guy. Yeah, you used to be at the pool halls all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, that's right. That's where I used to hang out. And remember, it was Elite Pool Hall on Merle Avenue.
Can't believe you didn't remember me. That's what the fuck I mean.
Frank, I probably do if I submit. It's been so long. I'm since Facebook.
I used to be at Central Bar next door. Joe DeLay.
Central Bar. That's right. Yes, Central Bar. Yep.
Well,
we all know this. We all know the same people. We grew up.
This makes 30.
Yeah,
but hey, talking about Robbie Caston, remember that? What was the name of the one kid who got killed back in the days, buddy?
Robbie Cooper. I was just talking about him. Just talking about 10 minutes ago.
What a good kid he was, wasn't he? He was a good kid.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you, I had my father was good friends with his father, and they used to hang in a bar in Seneca called Bachman's Bar. Yeah. I might have been like 7, 8 years old when I used to hang out with Robbie. When his father would bring Robbie down, and I would play. We would play outside, play on the little bar table and all that. Run around the block. And then later on, when he died, my father told me, he goes, you know who he was to you? I mean, I knew Robbie. I didn't hang. We weren't like tight with him. Like he wasn't like. I was more friends like Steve Betch, Anthony Francisi, Mike Bruce, guys like that. I was Rusty, DeMarie, those guys, Shane, all those guys, I hung out with. I really didn't hang out with him, but later on I found out
he was a good kid. He was kind of like didn't get in trouble or nothing like that. I remember him never getting in trouble.
No. He wasn't a troublemaker. And that same night that he got killed, I don't know if you know Mike Kiefer.
Sure.
Mike Kiefer, got into a brawl with, he was fighting with his girlfriend, and then
is that when his brother-in-law gave him the
Eddie Joe went up to the bar, and they saw it, and I think he cut him.
Yeah, he cut him. He hit the face.
I saw Mike later on, and he gave him a good gash. He got Mike.
I don't want to know, but is Eddie still part of what that clique?
I don't know. I haven't saw Mike. I haven't saw Mike.
He was part of a very popular motorcycle gang.
Yeah, he was with a motorcycle. Yeah, he was in the motorcycle.
I don't want to mention which one.
I don't know who. I mean, I wasn't like tight with him. I mean, I was friends with Kiefer. I mean, I knew him, but we weren't like tight. I was friends with Mike.
Yeah.
I never, I was no punk when I moved to Glendale. I grew up in Bushwick. Right. And I used to box. And when I moved to Glendale, they used to call me Billy the Boxer. And I never looked for trouble. unless it came to me. Like I didn't back.
I
I
found
went
you
back.
though. I mean, I can remember. I found you a couple of times.
Yeah, I don't know who I got into it with was Stephen Vlad.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's
I,
easy.
I had a problem with Vlad, but I tell you what, when Vlad rolled up to late night with a couple of his boys in the car, my boy Stephen Betch was there, and Steve says to him, "You fuck with Finnegan, I'm going down with him." And Steve just said, "All right, I don't want no beef," and he just left.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's nothing came out of that.
Nah, nothing.
Yeah, the old
Nothing.
days. The old days.
Yeah, that's my those. I'm 56 years old. My fighting days are over.
Of
I don't
course.
want. I don't. Matter of fact, today I didn't mind a fight, but I got into an argument. Today, as a matter of fact, my wife. I'll go to Dunkin' Donuts to drop off get my coffee. My wife's got to go into the store. My wife.
Uh-oh.
There's Joe Gambino. He got him again.
My wife's got to go into the store. She's got to get some medicine and some stuff. She calls me on the phone screaming, "Billy, get in here, get in here." So I fucking drop my jacket. I run in. This guy's cursing at my wife. I took him, pushed him against the counter. I said, "If you yell at my wife ever again, I'll break your fucking head." They fucking called the cops. The cops came. And the guy was cursing at my wife. And he didn't think I was in the parking lot. Tells my wife, "Yeah, go ahead, call your husband. I'll show you what I'll do." And the cops come. And I told the cops, "You can look at the camera." I told what my wife doing. The cops just let me go. "Have a nice day, sir."
There you
Told my
go.
wife. I said to my wife, I can't even send you into the store. I said, "I can't be fighting. I got a hernia. I got to get an operation in a couple of months. What are you doing?"
You got a brother, I recall, right?
What was that?
Your brother. You have a brother, no?
Yeah, Larry. I got a brother, Larry.
Yeah,
I don't even talk. I don't talk to him no more. I haven't talked to him in probably like 10 years.
Join the club.
Hey, Finnegan, you know this guy right here on the screen? You know this guy here?
Frank on the right, the bald guy.
No, this guy here.
Yeah, Rabbi Ivani. Rabbi Ivani. Yeah, I know. Rob was the guy that they stole the fireworks from.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, well, yeah.
He was a character, that guy. He was a real character.
Wasn't he? He was all right. He was in bad.
Nah, he was okay. He was cool. As a matter of fact, he was friends with Leo Galante.
Leo. Yeah, Leo Galante.
I love Leo. I love Leo. Leo sends me messages once in a while.
I know Leo since we're babies.
Yeah, Leo used to work in the pizzerias back in the days, and you know, I like Leo. I'm cool with Leo. I saw Leo back in the I got his phone number on the phone. I text him sometimes. Like when I'm in Brooklyn, I see a pizzeria, I'll send him the picture. Nah,
Yeah.
Leo's good people. Good people, Leo.
Yeah,
Awesome.
please hit the like button, guys.
You got it. I mean, let me see where it is. I get my okay. Where's the like?
Hey, man, thank you for coming, bro.
You got it, buddy. So listen, you know,
You're welcome to come back. Like you're welcome to come back
you
another day when you're not driving. If you're home one day, or you know, if you want to like hang out for a real discussion and stuff.
Yeah, no problem. Listen, if you Frank, you're gonna take my number down. I'll give you my number.
Well, don't
you send me a text.
Give it. Send it to the message that we sent it to.
Oh, okay. You got a message, yeah? Because I don't want everybody calling me. Yeah,
guys believe me.
Yeah, guys would be calling me. Hey, you're talking shit about me.
Joe Gambino.
If I got the 8 ball over here in this corner. Nah.
All right, let me see if I can send you my number, Frank, and you give me a call if you want to meet up one day.
Who's definitely not gonna make.
You want to give me a call, meet up one day. You guys, are you still in the neighborhood?
No, I'm not nearby, but if I am, I'll give you a call.
You got it, Frank.
Where do you still live in the neighborhood?
Oh, I live out in Floral Park, like Glen Oaks. I moved out there.
Yeah. Cool.
You know, but I used to live in Glendale. You know, I miss it. Don't get me wrong. That's why where I really grew up was Bushwick. You know.
Yeah, we all did. I think we all.
I mean, that was a really hard. You know, hard. That's where you really learned how to fight. So
Zoom Stompish.
Zoom Stomp. I never believe it or not, I never went there.
Really?
Nah, I never went there.
Good place.
South Sweet Shop I used to go to.
Yeah, South Sweet Shop.
South Sweet Shop was good. You know, there was like one block. I lived on 60. I lived right by. Listen, where I lived was so perfect. I lived by late night.
I know where you live. If you ever see Mike Cruz, tell him.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that.
Yo, Frank, I was talking to Mike like 20 minutes ago. I said, Mike, I might go on this podcast. I was trying to figure it out. I didn't know how to do it. I'm going back and forth. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I'm not good with computers. Let's put it that way. I'm not a computer guy now.
All right, cool,
Anyway,
bro.
I'll send you my number, guys.
Yeah,
All right,
that,
Finnegan,
do that
thanks
and
for
come
coming
back.
on, man.
No
Love to
problem.
have you
Thanks.
back.
I'll definitely get in touch with you.
No problem. Anytime you want.
All right,
All
all
right,
right. Bye, Bill.
Later.
There you go. We got him.
Yeah, that was
He
cool.
was on, and
Yeah.
Billy Finnegan. He told you the story behind that.
Yeah. Seemed like you were thinking that maybe there was some.
So what?
Nah, we'll talk about it.
Like what?
No.
Something else going on?
No, not with him. No.
All right.
Dominic Calandra, you know what? He says, thanks, Finn.
Thanks, Finnegan. So we got the show going. Hey, listen. Thank you, guys. We got how many people we got on?
151.
Oh wow. Maybe we should bring Finnegan back.
We got the variety show. We had Basta, and then we had Finnegan from the old neighborhood.
Yeah.
And of course we got what?
No, it's funny.
Big Joey from Greenpoint in the house. We're gonna get this guy on too.
I like Big Joe. Big Joe, I caught you on Soft White Underbelly. Yeah,
You watched it? You finished watching it? All right, so Frank watched it now too, Joe, because I wanted Frank to finish watching that one too.
He's a wrestling fan and a bouncer. He's been around. Big boy.
Okay, cool. So we got it. Email. I'm gonna email you tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. What do we got?
That's kind of what I wanted to say, because I don't know if you felt if there was something there.
I don't know. Yeah, he's talking about rats, and he's not a rat.
I don't know. He seems cool though. I don't know if he's the type.
I like. I mean, well, you know what? When we back in the day, poor guy, he used to catch a brunt of a lot of bad situations. Yeah, he is a boxer, but that only goes so much when you're fighting 4 or 5 guys. You know, but yeah. I'm glad he was on. I'm glad he's doing good. That's cool.
Appreciate everybody hanging out tonight. I got about 10 more minutes or so, Frank.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's rock it, guys. That's right. Any questions? Anybody? Let's do it. Yeah, but I felt that's Mickey. You know, I felt the same way, Mickey Smith.
But he seems like a guy. Oh, what is he? Come on, Family Guy. You know, whatever. I mean, what is?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think the person that you were talking to on the phone.
So I don't want to, you know.
What?
But that was Ralph being Ralph, okay? Using guys like that, give him $100 so he can make 10,000. When they get caught, then he wants to beat them up again because they told on him. But yeah, you know, just fucking crazy shit.
Yeah, he doesn't live far from me. He lives like about fucking 10 minutes from me. Finney was awesome. I went to Lane with Kevin and Dave. I knew Robbie Cooper, rode the bus with Pinisi every day.
Mm-hmm.
For the intelligent people in the room.
Joey,
you know what?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It was just getting killed over a fight. Carmine goes, that's ridiculous. They weren't going to kill them. If I knew they were pissed, though. They were pissed.
I mean, yeah, that's like a once or twice a year hustle.
And I'm gonna go on. Yeah. We sell fireworks too, but I'm gonna go on this one. Billy wasn't a guy that was around the Italians that much. He knew kind of what's going. So if they told him it was Gotti's club he went to, that's what he probably thought it was. You know.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I was like, they took it Gotti's club.
I get it.
You know, because he So give him a pass on that. All you mob fucking.
Right. No, I know. I get it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Did they ever hurt Ralph for stealing the fireworks? No. You know what happens a lot of times in organized crime? These guys become guys who recruit these kids are usually kids that robbed them at one time. And that's what happened with that. That's not rare, you know. They were young too. All
right, let's see. Anybody else? If you guys any I can't even talk anymore. I'm on too long. If you guys have any more questions, get your questions in. If you have not watched our episode last night, Ridgewood Boys, episode 11, 52 topics with Frank Fiordilino, Ridgewood Boys. If you guys haven't watched that, please watch it. I think it's really good. I think it's one of the better things we've done. I think I keep saying that lately because I think the show is getting better, believe it or not. I think it's getting better. Our live chats are getting better. More and more people are in here.
I mean, we're being our own critics right now, but to be honest, if you guys, if one, you like the show, two, it's okay, you don't like it, and three, we could get better. If you could write that on the chat, it means a lot to us.
Yeah.
Maybe something we need to do. So it's one, you like it, two, you don't, or it could get better, or three, or three, it could get better. We need a lot more to go.
Barzilette, can you recommend some good mob books? I've only read Murder Machine. I mean, you can read, there's a lot. I mean, like, if you want like to read about a bunch of different mob stuff and characters, you can read like Five Families, Sal and Rab. I mean, that's like a famous one. But if you like some of that gritty, like shit, like a Murder Machine, you could, you know what I would suggest, Barzilette, read El Diarco's book, Mob Boss, the one he did with Jerry Capisi. That's one of my favorite books as far as the mob books go.
Fucking fish. It can get better. We're gonna bring fish
up. It could get better. No, that's fair. We could always get better.
We love it. No. I'm not at all. I'm laughing.
But I know why he would write that, because
yeah, it's fish. No. That's why I'm laughing. Of course. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. We gotta bring fish on one day.
Thanks for the ones. Once three. What does Patrick Red David think of Sammy's Starbucks? What's up, fellas?
Thank you. I appreciate it. So yeah, so we're gonna try to do what we gotta do, but we want to keep it with a sense of humor as well.
Yeah, Wise Guy's good. Yeah, that's a classic. It's just like separating fact from fiction when you're dealing with Henry Hill.
Matt, thank you so much. Thank you,
Matt. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. I got to email you something about those glasses too, Matt. They're still gonna come, but there is I'll email you. I'm going to email you about them. I will say they're cool glasses, but maybe a little misunderstanding on them.
Yeah, Dan. I'll try to do that too. And if you guys, anybody listening to our show, and you grew up in the neighborhood in Bridgewood or anything, you remember the good things, like the Oktoberfest that used to we have at the Metropolitan Oval. We used to love that. The Germans used to have these Oktoberfest thing at the Metropolitan Oval. Well, they were mostly Austrian that we had. And that was always something to look forward to in our neighborhood when we were growing up. They used to have soccer for a weekend, and a lot of good teams used to play. And that was something we always looked up. You know, I grew up with Italian kids. That's what they love. Their parents got them into it too.
Yeah, Dayon likes it. He enjoyed it. Mafia Prince. Yeah, that's good. The Man Behind the Man wrote that. Will help write it.
Okay.
The best book nobody wants to read, To Drop a Dime. To Drop a Dime. Okay, To Drop a Dime.
Is that a book? The book.
Let's see.
The best book nobody wants to read. The Balachi Papers, Peter Marsh. That's a good one.
To Drop a Dime. It's by Paul Hoffman. A confessed mafia hitman describes the New Jersey Campisi family's reckless and violent criminal doings in his own defiance of the code. Oh, yeah, the Westies is another one. Read the Westies, Barzilette. If you read Murder Machine, you have to read the Westies. Let's put it that way.
I've never read that one.
Do the impression.
Bronzy Frank, were you good at playing side? I held my own. I wasn't good. I held my own. My friends were good. I had a friend of mine, one of my best friends growing up. What happened with him was weird because he was one of the best goalkeepers in New York City. But at that point when we were growing up, there was no professional league in the United States. There was nothing. A college you could have got, and colleges weren't. It wasn't like basketball or baseball where they were giving scholarships like that. So he kind of like grew. He didn't grow. You know, his interest went out the window as he got. But he was good. He played on a couple of older teams. While we got older, and he was really, really good. And that was it. It's just with that we grew up in the wrong time for soccer in our neighborhood. We didn't have the right programs. And it was like 2-3 years before the NASL folded with the Cosmos and all that shit. So it wasn't even exciting to want to play it.
Yeah.
The only thing we ever looked forward to were the World Cups.
Yeah.
But he was really good. It's too bad. That's how life is, though, you know.
What was that other shit? They have like the Euro Cups, and I mean they have their own like
Yeah, they had every 2 years, and the other one was every 4.
right.
Well, but I mean, that was the only time there was any kind of interest in the States or within our neighborhood anyway. I don't know how much interest the World Cup would anywhere else in the United States. But looking at it now, they're not much. But yeah.
Matt, yeah, thanks again, Matt. Appreciate your generous donation. Thank you,
Not
buddy.
that people might go, no offense, but do you remember Zips sneakers? No, I remember like Converse and Pro Keds as we were growing up. But Pro Keds is still around, I think.
Joey says he loves the show. He looks forward to it. Thank you, Big Joe. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Joe. Thank
Vinny
you.
Boom Bots 20. Thank you, Vinny Boom Bots. Frank, no pun intended, but do you remember the Zip sneakers?
No, not at all.
I was talking to Vinny about an interesting, speaking of Jersey storyline out of there about what was it, George Weingardner? Spell the name for me, Vinny Boombots. We spoke about this on the phone. Somebody's asking me to do Patrick, but he wants me to play the Sammy.
Which one?
Say it again.
Which one? The one where he licks the cup?
Yeah, this people want to get licked again. Pull up that clip of Sammy the Bull. He's licking. They want me to do the Pat David. Pull up that clip. There's this guy, Sammy the Bull. He's licking Starbucks. You know, I invested $5 million in Starbucks back in 1998. That's yeah, Weingartner, George Weingartner. Yeah, that's a weird story. That's a fucking really weird story.
You know, and I forgot to mention, I always do. See, when we were growing up, and you know, like that segment, while we were like losing ourselves to whatever was going on, having a good time, whatever. There was one kid, his dad was a coach while I was growing up, and the kid ended up playing with the Yankees. He was a coach while we grew up, and he could have easily went bad if he didn't have that guidance. He was a wise ass kid too. But you know, his parents kept him occupied, and I think he had 2 rings with the Yankees. He was in middle relief at that time. He didn't get that much to play, but what the fuck? Who could say that?
The Yankees?
He was a starting pitcher at one point. Then he went to middle relief, lefty. We grew up together, played Little League together. Obviously.
Well, listen, not everybody makes the majors. So.
I lost interest in high school, but I don't think I could. I didn't have the makings of a varsity for sure.
Fish P. Black Camp Peace was killed along with Al Manzo. His son was on the Jersey Housewives. I had my wedding reception. Yeah. Didn't he just get arrested?
Who's that?
Manzo for planning a beating. The one that they have on tape with Perna, whatever the fuck, beating the guy over the head at the supermarket or something. Imagine that.
I know who you're talking about. Hey, Bulletine, what's up, buddy? What's up?
Hey, FBI, what's going on, buddy? I think I saw you in here earlier.
Can anybody name the kid I grew up with? They probably know who he is.
You said it before. I forgot, though.
Alan Watson.
Alan Watson. There you go. Oh, it was his brother. Okay. It was his brother. Okay. All right. Yeah, but that Weingartner story is pretty crazy. Do you remember the old school Napoli tracksuits in New York when Maradon's played in Naples, just like them Fila's on Sergio Tacchini's?
Vaguely. I know it's baby blue, their color, but vaguely.
Were you an Alessi guy? You did a lot of Alessi, or yeah?
I was all of it.
I always like the
we
logo.
Were kids. I mean, our family used to go back and bring in stuff like Fila shirts, Alessi shirts. Some of us, like there was like a couple of us, 5 or 6 of us. They used to get that. Usually, the ones that became the worst too. I don't even want to mention.
That's right, DL. That's right, DL. Sammy is pissed at PVD. Fish says John Franco. You know, my father was convinced for years. My father had this conspiracy because my dad's from Brooklyn, whatever.
Yep.
He had this conspiracy because he knew some of these guys or whatever. he had this whole conspiracy in his head that you know, Pete Rose gambling. It was all because of John Franco. He was hooking him up.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
That's what my dad. But it might be true, but my dad had no evidence for it whatsoever. He
It's
just
true.
said it over the years. That fucking Franco. He's the one that fucking did it.
Apparently, he hooked him up with the bookie out of Staten Island. Now, who the fuck's gonna hook him up with the guy with Staten Island? And not only that, guess who was giving him the football scores?
To Rose or
And
to
his
Franco?
dugout. To Rose. He was
Who?
bringing him the foot from the bullpen. He was coming in and giving him the football scores.
Franco was.
Yeah.
So my dad was right. And
Yeah,
believe
your
me, my
dad-
dad had no evidence.
had
for it.
a good
He's
case.
just talking to talk, you know?
Yeah, they just didn't want to stir the fucking pot, but yeah.
That's so fucking funny. I think Franco said, didn't he say he was like there at the scene with the Nikki Black murder or something? I don't know. He was saying something like that.
No,
Interesting guy. I like Franco. One of the all time great Met
I ran into him at Pat Stell's, and I had a friend of mine who was drunk off his ass, kept on busting his balls. Kept on calling Franco, and then he just went after, well, fuck you, you know, like that. He was telling me you suck, you know.
Yeah.
But back to Franco and the people. Yeah, he was up in Montreal. He gave tickets to Frank Lino and those guys. They went over there.
Right.
I think
That's
they
one
flew-
thing that did come out. I remember. Yeah.
That's true. Frank
Yeah.
Lino was a big baseball fan. He loved baseball. He talked about baseball a few times. It was around the fucking like always.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. What it do? John Franco belongs in Cooperstown. 400 of our career saved most by a left-handed closer.
Is that right? That's the most. Holy shit! I did not know that.
Or was it him, or was it who was the other guy that played for who was the other closer? Hold on, Padres closer. Who was the closer for the Padres for many years?
Oh fuck! Not Wagner.
Trevor Hoffman.
Hoffman. I was gonna say Hamilton.
Yeah, wasn't Hoffman a? Oh, he wasn't. No, I'm sorry. I don't know why I thought Hoffman was a lefty. No, you're probably right, Lou.
Another
no, Hoffman,
all
no.
the time. You ain't wrong, bro. You ain't wrong. A lot of big heads.
Vinny Boombot says Hoffman. Yeah.
No, Chris, say it was his cousin, Frank.
Billy Wagner. Yeah, he was a lefty, right? But he just got in. He just got in. DL.
Is he the one that's really short?
He just got in. No, he's probably normal height, 5'8", 5'9".
That's not normal for baseball.
Well, he's a closer. I mean, but no, he wasn't tall. He wasn't exceptionally tall.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
normal
yeah.
height, like, you know.
Fuck, what is the average for a pitcher in baseball these days?
He just got into the Hall of Fame, though. He got voted in.
Yeah.
The writers voted him in. Oh, so Wagner was a natural-born righty, but he learned to throw left after fracturing his arm twice. Crazy.
What do you think of that Luka trade to the Lakers?
Where is this? Oh, I don't know. I don't know much about. I don't really follow basketball.
basketball.
Gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. All right, what do you got, brother?
That's it.
Matt says, I think that sucked. Yeah, I didn't like it either.
That's it. Let's see. We got another question. All right, David Price. Franco hosted Frank Lino in Montreal, gave him the free tickets to Montreal. Same trip, Lino said he met with Enico Nostra federal cabinet minister Alfonso Gagliano from Agrigento. Got to fucking take an Italian course just to read that question. You just put it in.
Our friends up north.
Yeah, Patty Whack too. That kind of has a bunch of different little short biographies on different Irish gangsters, like a compilation, if you will.
What else we got? Frank and Eddie Lino were cousins. Frank's brother was Robert Lino. Yep.
Karma, you hang out in sticks. He knows.
Fish. I'm going for Barry. He's a funny bastard. Hey, he's like, I see who's fucking. Hey, how's the weather in Minnesota while we got you on?
Yeah.
Shit.
Nothing, man.
You know, I served 2 years in Minnesota.
Yeah, how was it?
Snowing all the fucking time. It wasn't bad. People, the people weren't bad. Yeah,
All right,
Philadelphia.
ladies and gentlemen, how long have we been on? We've been on here for a while. We'll give it 7 more minutes. We'll give it 6 minutes. We'll make it an even 2 hours
6
and
more minutes.
30
And,
minutes. Bronxy South. Frank, you ever been involved in match fixing yourself?
No. -6 fish says, Jesus Christ. Match fixing, no. I just didn't have the right resources, I guess. I would have. When I was broke, there wasn't many things I wouldn't have got into.
Hey, Brett and Frank, Mickey Bat says he's blocked. He wanted a message relayed saying he just got out of the shower.
Who's
Who the
Mickey
hell is
Bats?
Mickey Bats? I didn't block anybody.
Mickey Bats?
He wanted a message
I don't know
relayed
how to
saying
block anybody.
he just got
Do you
out
know
of the
who Mickey
shower.
Bats
Oh,
is?
I mean, I don't know who that is, but if he wants to tell us about his shower schedule, then I'm glad I blocked him. Brett, you should have your dad on. I will interview my dad for my channel. Actually, I will.
Cool deal.
Next time I see him, I'll talk to him. I asked him. I didn't have time last time, but that's just for I don't know. Even if I don't post it, I am going to do that.
Furbo asked a good question. He says, if I ever met Giorgio Canali, the great Cosmo player, a Lazio player, no. But I met Paolo Rossi, and I have a picture somewhere floating in the world. But I don't think I'll ever get to see that again.
That's the guy that comes in every chat and says, I just got out of the shower. Oh, I didn't know that. Did I miss that? Yeah.
That's probably that nut that won't want you to get in.
Interesting. It's funny you said that, Mini Boombots. Thank you for the 20, by the way. I'm sorry I didn't mention that. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know about having my dad on. I don't that would be funny, though.
I met Pele as well. I met him at Mr. Chow's.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's kind of not as short as I thought he was going to be.
Same party that Trudeau is prime minister. Liberals in Canada had an alleged inducted Costa Nostra member and Bonanno family as a senior cabinet member in the late 90s. Oh, is that right? Eek. I would imagine those aren't the liberals of today. They're not the Trudeauians. They're not the Castroians.
The Peronians.
LOL. If he was, he's not going to tell anyone. That reminds Henry Hill and Jimmy Burke. They were fixing college basketball games. It was a college point shaving scam, right? Boston.
I know I haven't read books, and not to get off topic, but I've been reading one lately on the Argentinian Civil War of 70, 76 about 83. They were throwing people off, the dirty war they called it. That's a pretty eye-opening.
When they were what?
Throwing students off of planes, drugging them up.
Oh, Pinochet?
The ones that were into the left.
Pinochet.
No, that's Chile. This was Argentina.
Oh, it wasn't Argentina? Well, he must have got it. He must have got it. They would do it because he was Mr. Helicopter Man, as far as I know.
That's what their helicopters playing, whatever. But that was pretty eye-opening, and it's pretty interesting. It's kind of see what happens when two. I don't know. It's kind of like what's going on now. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it's crazy. Except,
yeah.
I guess, can we hire a hacker to cross-reference and find the pastor? I wish.
I want the pastor. Pastor was great. But we got a new guest. We found Billy Finnegan.
You got Finnegan.
Never thought I'd be somewhere in the world having Billy on a podcast that I was part of. But
Big Lou says, fuck PBD. Hey, watch it now. Watch it. I'm going to sue you if you say that again. You're going to get sued. Buy my insurance.
All right. We got
Pasta Patate, $9.99 super sticker. No question, just a super sticker. Thank you, Pasta Patate.
I would like to know what
Tony boy.
Look like. I'm a fan of Pasta Patate. Don't get me wrong.
Pasta Patate's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I've been seeing him on the Mob Tube streets for over 2 years, 3 years maybe. Pasta Patate.
Two carbs that actually can work together.
Yeah. Noki, you fucking Noki boy.
Yeah, those things put me to sleep.
A little Noki bolognese.
For my diabetes, that shit's like a fucking, I go on a coma. So good that when they're going down though.
We got a couple more minutes. Romano. Yeah, I'm seeing Nick Romano's name a lot popping up. I guess he got out of jail. I don't know.
Oh wow, Carmine says, Francesco, my wife is related to Edison Cavani. That's a Uruguayan soccer player of Italian descent. Very good player. Played in Naples and Palermo.
Barzalette. Yeah, Romano's back. All right.
Ramon, hey.
Are you a maid guy, you fucking piece of shit? I stole everything from his fucking house.
Oh man.
Are you a maid guy?
Finnegan's Wake.
Holy shit. Only like once, Frankie. Food is one of the treats of life. I'm not into dieting. I'm not making fun of you, Chris. But yeah, Chris, check out Joe Monty. He's fucking talking about people's mothers now. He's getting out of control, that guy. He actually crossed the line, Chris, in one of his uploads.
Who is that?
This guy, Joe Monty, the Truth Serum guy. I had him on my show a couple of times, sir, because I thought he was entertaining. But he actually crossed the line. He's been saying some crazy shit lately.
When I think of Joe Monty, I think of that guy years ago that sang that song, Shut Up Your Face.
Oh?
That was a song, Shut Up Your Face. Today it probably wouldn't have worked. But you know what? Us Italians, we don't care. You could actually throw digs at us all you want. We ain't suing you. We don't. You know, it's not like, oh, you just say that. You shouldn't say that. You know, when it comes to Italians, you know.
Unless you're Chris Cuomo and you call him Fredo, and he goes, that's like saying the N-word.
Where the fuck did he get that from?
I don't know.
So in his heart, even though he's a liberal, he wants to be a gangster. You see?
Yeah. Nick, let me check my give a shit meter. Yeah.
Mo wants to know if I'm still on because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, and she wants to know if I got a new girlfriend.
Yeah. What do you say? What do you say? What do you say? What do you do? What do you say? What do you do?
You know.
Moms are off limits. Yeah, he's saying crazy stuff now, Chris. I can't get behind some of the shit he's saying.
Who's that?
Joe Monty, the Truth Serum. This is a guy that he talks about the mob stuff. He talks about a lot of stuff. He's been on YouTube for 3 years, I'd say, and he's probably done about 800 live streams. I had him on my show. The guy that rolled down the hill, he fell down the fucking hill.
That was him?
What?
That was him rolling down the hill?
Yeah, he sits there with a cigarette, and he goes, these fucking mafia guys. But he's fucking chain smoking. He's sitting on his couch.
Jeez. I mean, you know what? That you can be anything you want on Facebook, I guess.
But he's been saying some crazy shit lately. Crazy stuff.
Most of them
says this is for the intelligent. Yeah, like John Panisi says, for the intelligent people.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rock Solid.
Right.
Appreciate you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you to Vinny Boom Bots. What it do with Big Lou? Thank you for the donation, sir. Broke woke joke. You know, what is this, the new normal? $5? What am I gonna do with $5? What is this, the new normal? cheap new normal. Thank you, broke woke joke.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
$50 from Matt. He says the show sucks. Thank you. Vinny Boombots 20. Thank you. Oh, Vinny Boombots again 20. The man, the myth, the legend. Vinny Boombots.
Thank you.
And our buddy Pasta Patate. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming, everybody. Broxy Sada, David Price. Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. Appreciate everybody that donated. I think probably we're gonna play out a short clip. I think coming up, right?
Yeah, we're working on a couple clips. I got 1985, my trip to Sicily and cultural shock. I get that's the first time I've been there ever since I left as a kid. I didn't remember nothing, and they were going through a lot of stuff back then, and we'll discuss some of that.
Appreciate it, everybody. Yeah, we're gonna have some day on. Let's see what Lou says. Brad, don't ever question my sports game when it comes to old school pro wrestling. That's most of my videos on my YouTube channel is about. You can drop your link, Lou. I mean, anytime, man. Everybody go over to. Let me see if I could do it from here. I don't think I could.
Can he do it? Can he do it from his chat?
I'm not sure. Let me see. See, I don't know. It's in my algorithm on Crime Spot, but I'm not like signed in. I'm signed in on I'm signed in on 52 topics.
Yeah, Dr. Mingo, put up the bumpers for Frank. Yeah, have fun at the Eagles and be careful at the parade. Don't let them nuts over there. Did you eat plenty of bacala in your family?
Yeah, I used to hate looking at this shit when I would go to the Italian deli and the fucking
dried codfish
in the wood boxes just piled up with the dried. I was like, fucking nasty.
Yeah, I heard Lee Cole knows something about bacala.
He was in NBC News. If anybody wants to check that out, check out NBC News.
When?
They did a story on Linda McMahon, who's about to be Trump wants her to be the education secretary or whatever it is.
And what he said.
And then on the heels of the scandal with Ring Boy and all this other stuff coming to light, I guess they were trying to do like a hit piece on her or whatever.
Yeah.
And Lee Cole's in the article giving his commentary. Yeah.
He's on TV?
No. In an article online.
Oh.
I read it because I saw his short. He says, "Hello, people. We're going to be on NBC News, this and that." And then I checked it out. I read the article. Pretty good. Bill Cotolo Jr. seems like a very nice guy. I used to speak to him here and there when he was on here. His interviews I thought were really good, but also sad. Yeah, we hope to have him on.
He paints a great picture of it when he articulates his stories.
Yeah.
And I talked to him. He's okay. He's doing okay.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Those meats on the ceiling are fake. Where's that?
Oh, the meat's on the ceiling. See when you go to like.
Oh yeah. But what place is that?
The problem is most of them.
Yeah. There's an old school one by me. Still got it. And of course, if you go to Arthur Avenue, they got the Calabrian pork store. It smells like a fucking sock in that place. That's how much dry aged salami they got in there. It smells like a fucking dirty gym sock. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I never did the math on that. Yeah. It smells like a sock for sure. I was a kid. I was like, "Who the fuck anybody want to come here?" The dried snails and the kind of snails.
Like a fucking dirty gym sock in there.
No, I do like snails.
Fucking muffaletta boy.
Jeez, a dried sock. Yeah, for sure. All right, bro.
All right, everybody. I hope everybody. Let's see up this one really quick. Was there Anthony Gonzalez? Was that a Puerto Rican member of the Bath Avenue crew? You know about that?
No.
We don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure either. You know what? Roro gets the last goodbye of the night. Roro, the great, powerful moderator.
The best.
Roro,
Love you, Roro. Thank you so much,
everybody. Hope you enjoyed tonight's live stream. We're gonna drop a clip before our next live.
God. I wonder what you're gonna drop.
And then Wednesday, no. And then Wednesday we're gonna put out a full episode, and of course Monday we will be
talking about what we put out.
Before we go, ladies and gentlemen, let's rock it out.
Where's Latrell?
The dance floor.
Where's Latrell?
The dance floor.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, everybody. You guys have a great night. We appreciate all of you for being with us.
And Fish, behave.
See you guys soon.
All right.